Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure and armor, their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave-swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm-bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar. Yes, indeed. You know what that music means, everybody. That means the time has come for us to return to the world of Beowulf. What's going on, Argonauts? Welcome to a Tuesday stream. It is 12:30 p.m. Eastern, November 18th, 2025, etc., and it is good to see everyone. Welcome to day 21 of Beowulf Age of Heroes. This is part 2 of Ear of Stone. I am very excited to be able to bring this to you again. It is awesome to be able to have Tari back with us and to be playing this awesome game again. Before we get any further, a couple of quick notes about ways to support the channel. If you haven't done so, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube, and please follow me over there and subscribe over there. It's free for you to do that, but it really does help us out. Discord is !ArvCord. You can hang out with the Argonauts in between streams. Discord is I said our Discord. The website for this, I should say, is arvanelaron.com, and don't forget either about Blue Sky, !ArvSky, where you can check out our microblogging platform, basically, that we have, that I use. So definitely join me over there. Had a lot of new followers over there as of late, which is nice. So please join them and be part of the crew. On the financial side, !Arv Shop is the merchandise area, which is really awesome. You can get cool swag for yourself and cool stuff to help the channel. !Arv Treon is the Patreon. We're really trying to build that back into triple digits. And so I would very much appreciate it if people would jump on board with that. That would be great. Again, that's Patreon, gets you cool stuff, including inspirations to help our various players, as does subscribing to the channel. You get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. What's up, Imaginary? That's funny. I figured, I was like, that looks either like a cat has walked across the keyboard, or that you're simply doing, doing the thing. That's what I figured it was. But anyway, so yes, !Arvtreon, subbing to the channel gets you those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. On the financial, I said that already, and then on the publishing front, !Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts, !Library, that's my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, that's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment, and !Greyshade, that is my Greyshade IP, Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, available right now from Athos Arts at that link. You can also get the audiobook of Grey Shade from our very own Trent Sparks, available at that link. And if you have not done so already, you can check out Renegade, coming very soon in audio form. Heretic will be coming out probably early next year in audio form, but Renegade should be the next couple of weeks, and I'm very excited for that too. Again, from Trent Sparks, he did an amazing job with that. And you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Grey Shade. If you're in the Philadelphia area, Brandon O'Brien, the designer himself, will be demoing that game Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be there at PAX Unplugged at the Philadelphia Convention Center this coming Sunday to demo it with him. So you can come by and say hi, and you can check out this game, which you can pre-order now. So there's all this cool stuff that you can get if you support now at that link. And again, it will be worth your while. Brandon did a great job of this game. It's going to be amazing. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And send the message, will do so for others in that situation in the future. Quick note on schedule, we have got Beowulf going on right now. At 4 p.m. this afternoon, I will be back over on GOGcom's Twitch channel playing with Pen and Pixels, episode 497, I believe, playing more of Strange Antiquities, a game I've really been enjoying. Then I'll be back on Thursday with Final Fantasy Tactics, The Evil East Chronicles. I really, really adore this game, if I haven't made that clear already. Super excited for that. And then Saturday, we have D&D with viewers coming up, which should be a great time, so I'm excited for that too. So you could join us for all of that at the channel. Please do support, and please spread the word, because it's lovely to have you all here. And Big Boss, it's good to see you, man. Thank you for being here, and thank everyone for being here. You folks are all awesome, and it's good to see you all. All right, with that said, I'm unmuting myself so that Tari knows we are ready to go, and then I am unmuting Tari. And last but certainly not least, I am heading over to reveal to you in one fell swoop this person. There she is. TariToons is here, and we are ready for the Ear of Stone. I like just saying the word stone in this dramatic way. Anyway, but it's good to see you, Tari. How are you doing? How's life in the universe with you? And yeah, how's everything on your end? And who are you playing this afternoon, evening?
Well, I have not yet killed myself over the incredibly terrible weather we are having, but we are hanging in there. We are hanging in there. The depression, the seasonal depression is it's hitting me hard. Boy, oh my God. We've had I think overall 30 minutes of sunlight over the past 5 days, which is it's not good. But yeah, besides that, no. Actually gotten back into reading, which has been,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah, no. It's been a whole thing that I've been struggling with the past years, actually reading novels all the way through. Without just switching to the audiobook half after the first 3 chapters or something.
Although having said that, the audio still is a valid thing. It's a valid method.
Yes, it is.
So,
but I'm still depressed because I used to be back in the olden days, back when I was young, and as a teenager I was able to just skim through an entire novel in 3 days. I would just read out of the table at school all the time, or read while walking from the train to the school or something, that kind of stuff, which I can't do anymore. But lately, I've gotten myself one of Kenneth Lee's books, Knight's Master.
Very nice, yep.
Which is so, I've not been able to just read so effortlessly in a long time, because there's something about her writing. I think it's one thing is the how episodical the chapters are.
Yep.
I think it's one thing. So I don't feel I have to reread every paragraph 5 times to grasp the whole story that is going on.
Yeah.
Because of my concentration issues.
And the good news is she wrote a lot of stuff. So you have a lot of good things in front of you.
Wrote down a lot of her books on my wish list for St. Nicholas Day.
Awesome.
But those are not going to be here on time because they're going to have to be shipped in from the US, I'm assuming. That was a whole thing with the first book that I ordered. That for some reason her books are just impossible to get in.
I was gonna say she's a UK writer though.
Yeah, still, I don't know how it works. Like
They
it's
like
like a
sent
whole
it to
thing.
US and then to you.
I think like because like my best guess is that like the most recent print run from like a decade ago was done in the
Was
US
done in the
probably.
US. Oh wow.
Something I don't know, but like it's a whole thing where it takes like a whole month to like ship a single book or
Oh
something.
my
You
God.
know, it's
This is where the Australian, like next time I talk to Wenchkin or Light and Passion, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, because it takes like because everything for them to get to Australia is like some
yeah, of course.
godforsaken length of time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no,
Insane.
I fully understand.
You
But
hate it
yeah,
when your
like I was
ebooks need
like,
to be shipped from the US, Big Boss. Yes.
um, well, yeah, I guess I could have just gotten an e-reader instead and started reading ebooks, but
I mean, I will
also like the
say,
library, like there's like one countrywide library in the
okay,
Netherlands, which costs like a subscription, like I think $50 a year or something.
okay,
And like they don't have any offer books, which I
interesting.
don't, which is weird because like there's like if you go to a bookstore here in the Netherlands, like half of it are English language books, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
I
like
have to say,
why?
I have to say that I would. I mean, like obviously, see the value and love the value of physical books too. I have a Kindle Scribe, and I don't love having to support Amazon's, Amazon in general. Although, of course, I admire our Twitch overlords, Amazon. But no. But like, I will say that having like I got Ada Palmer's Inventing the Renaissance, which is an amazing book.
Mm,
And that book is about like 700 pages. And being
mm.
able to just have it on my scribe so I can, like pull it
Ah,
open and read it.
yes.
And also it means that you get around some of what you're describing, I think, because you can probably get this, get it and then it's obviously sent directly. So I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
a perfect solution, but,
No.
a little bit better,
Uh,
maybe.
but yeah. So I've been reading a bunch lately, which is nice.
That's
I
awesome.
feel very, very, very good about that.
Yeah.
So, and also it's just a really, really good book. Like, I was like, wow, this was like written for me specifically.
Yeah.
It's like ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, I can see that. She's a very good writer. She's a very good writer.
So yeah, it's just really nice. Like I really like the surrealness
Mhm.
and stuff. You know, it's like all very with like very few words. She describes like very vivid scenes, which is
Yes.
like
I get that feeling
so good.
sometimes looking at like like Guy Gavry, okay, but that's
Mm,
more lush. But even like Patricia McKillop or people like that are someone's where I'm like, yeah, like the sort of the quality of the prose is just like
mm,
it says a lot in very little space. I know exactly what you mean. By the
yeah.
way, quick note, our mutual friend Amal, I am
Yes.
teaching I'm teaching This Is How You Lose the Time War. I've reached that section of my
Nice.
science fiction class. And God almighty, like both Max and Amal, of course, are wonderful writers, but she has this line at the very beginning, and I don't remember if it's her or Max. This might have been Max. But they're talking about this one agent, Red, and her weapons fold into her like roses at dusk. And I told my
Ooh.
class, I'm like, I just want you all to know I'm going to be stopping repeatedly and just going, wow, can we just? I wish I wrote that line. Like they're like, okay, Professor, we get it.
Yes, the envy one gets.
Yeah, it's just
I have
it's
that
so good.
with
Oh, man.
when I was reading Witch Hat Atelier, which is like a currently running manga,
Okay.
which is just so unbelievably beautiful illustrated that it made me angry reading it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what
Exactly.
the fuck?
I told you
Why
I
does this look so
I had
pretty?
I had a friend who said that this particular writer was so good that you wants to punch him in the face every time he reads his sentences because he's so good. You're just like, oh
Yeah,
my God. Yeah.
it's yeah, that.
It's
So
great. Well, who are you
but
playing
yeah, I'm
today,
mainly
Tori?
just okay.
I'm
Sorry,
with
I'm
you.
just really
I love this,
excited
but
about this book right
me
now.
too. I'm glad to hear you are. That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, okay. One more thing, because it was like incredibly funny when I was at the bookstore to
Okay.
first order the book last month. Because like the guy behind the counter, I assume he's like in his 50s or something, was like, "What? You're ordering Tennis Lee? Are you sure? Are you really sure you want this book?" It's like, well, it's like from my times. It's like, okay, so what kind of other books do you like? Just like to make sure. And I'm like, okay, so I like list out, okay, so I think you will enjoy this. And then like it was like he was like really worried for some reason, like I guess because he thinks her writing is a bit not appealing to modern readers, or
Really?
basically, or
She
probably not to the usual clientele they have at the bookstore, I'm assuming.
right, because what I was going to say was what's funny is something weird happened to her because she passed away in 2015. Something
Yeah.
weird happened to her in the 90s where like she had this prodigious output, and then her it dropped way off, and there was this question of whether she was getting published as much anymore. I don't. I mean, like, as you have proven,
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's anything that would keep modern readers. She's a good writer. I don't know anything that would keep modern readers from appreciating her stuff also. But it's funny. It makes me wonder if people had this sense that it's like this old schoolness to it that maybe people would. I don't know. That's interesting.
Well, I guess like currently, like you have like this whole thing going where it's like the whole romantasy boom that's currently going on.
Big time.
And that's not it, you know. That does not fit the mold currently, you know.
Yeah,
It does not
definitely
fit the. So like I can see like that angle, though I can only speculate why he was the word. And then like when I went to pick it up, there was like a different clerk behind the counter, and she was like looking. I was like, here, yeah, under this and that name. I ordered the book. She was like browsing. I was like, here, the first one, technically, because I could see it on the shelf where all the ordered books were. She like turned around. I was like, oh, you're reading Kenneth.
So she was happy that you were reading.
Oh, she was like, no, the other guy was also really happy. I think he, but like, it was just so funny, both of their reactions, you know. That's, I love bookstores, man. Support your local small bookstores.
Amen to that. Exactly how I feel. Yeah, because a lot of them too can get things from the same places. And it's just a matter of getting it shipped through that other distributor, which helps them out a lot. Bookshop.org, I highly recommend, by the way, before doing the Amazon thing. And if there is no other choice, please for authors by not getting them from anywhere, because the only thing that they're available on is Amazon. But first, please go to your local places, especially because Baker and Taylor, a major distributor, is going out of business, and that's going to be a huge hit on an already strained, bookstore system. So yeah, please do support those things. Oh yeah, no problem, Triffid. Okay, but this is see, this is what happens. Tari and I start catching up on stuff, and then we start talking about things, and
Yeah. To be fair, it's like sort of channel relevant because books and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Totally relevant.
But yeah. Anyway, who am I playing? Some character or another. No, her name is not Runsil. That was the previous one. No, this is Genofifa, who is a freshly baked leader and hero type person. Some big shoes that she is unsure of filling. But yeah, this is like her first, I guess, proper adventure that she actually, from her own will, set out on instead of like accidentally falling into.
I guess, sort of. I mean.
Oh wait, no, that was like the first one was Horror at Harrogate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, second one then. But yeah, so she used to be a follower, and now she is big hero, or so
That's
they
right.
say.
Now she's being sought out specifically. So
yeah. Before she was a follower, she was just basically. Oh God, what do you call that profession? A serf?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
And now she's
a gopher.
Yeah, now exactly. Now she's become she's risen to the level of hero, which is very cool. Yes, Triffid, and congratulations on the
pulled herself up by her bootstraps or something.
By her, yeah, exactly, by her or her bowstring, I guess, for Genevieve.
A bowstring. Oh.
But Triffid, I first of all, congratulations on that, and yes, Barnes & Noble is actually in a better space than it used to be. They are also a good alternative, although, again, I would always work through, I would go independent bookstore, library, Barnes & Noble, and then if you have to, Amazon. Like that would be the order of operations for me. Also, Big Boss, we don't have time to get into this right now a lot, but I do want to say quickly, they are lucky to have Trivet, I agree. One thing I want to say quickly about that, Big Boss, is, so used bookstores, especially as a kid, I got tons of stuff from used bookstores, and I think there's value in bookstores in giving you like access and exposure to a lot of authors you wouldn't otherwise know. If I'm being fair about it, in just terms of like the pure monetary aspect of things, I would rather that you look at a library before you look at a used bookstore, because the library stuff I am still, as an author, getting paid for, because those are purchased copies, whereas a secondhand bookstore has not done so. Like a secondhand bookstore has just, bought it from the person who originally owned it, or they picked it up from a, estate sale or whatever the case may be. And so I'm not getting any extra additional sort of money directly if you buy something from a secondhand bookstore. But I don't have any like negatives associated with it per se. The only thing I am 1,000,000% against in every respect, which Tari is with me on, is piracy.
Yeah.
That you just can't do. I'm sorry. Like not with books, not when there's so many ways of getting things. You can even
Well, with the
contact
exception
author.
if it's like completely out of print and you can't get it
That's
anywhere.
a whole different thing. But even there, if the author is around, though, you
Well,
can
I mean, in
often
those
reach out.
cases, the author probably is not around. Though, like that again, I must say on that front that I usually deal with this with like authors who lived like 200 years ago, and I can't fucking get this book anywhere
That's
except for
yeah.
like a
I
really
mean,
crappy PDF.
that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's essentially public domain, right? Like, and I'm not going to be like, wait, Arthur Conan
Yes.
Doyle's not getting the money he needs. Like, I mean, come on. So yeah, right. And I think that's a good way to look at it, Big Boss. I go to used bookstores. I definitely don't want to lecture people in general about getting books. More reading is good. More books is good. More writing is good. What I would say is if you go and you find the book and you're like, this is amazing. Next step, go to the bookstore and find out if they've got more, titles in circulation and let other people know. Like, the whole Bigalus Dickalus effect that got, again, our mutual friend Amal got her onto the bestseller list and got her stuff optioned and everything. That happened because some random anime account was like, this is the most awesome book ever. You just need to go and get it. You too could be a Bigalus Dickalus, okay? Like, you tell them about my work, you tell them about Tari's work, you tell them about authors and artists that you love, and send them our way, and that will definitely help us out. But in general, I have nothing against it as long as, you've tried to get it other ways. And if you can't, then, totally understand this way. And of course, AI slop should be yeeted into the sun. All right, Beowulf, let's go.
Right.
So in our last session, Genevieve came to an island having been summoned by this person who talked about the fact that she had lost contact with people on the island of Freodin. Now, Freodin itself is somewhat isolated. It's pretty far north, and it took a while for Genevieve to actually and her crew to get to that place. And there had been very little sort of contact back and forth from that island until they actually arrived at the island. And once they arrived at the island, it became clear as to why. Because while Genevieve and followers were heading on shore, this massive creature, which I think I still have a picture of here somewhere. Let's see if I do. Those are the things with this stuff, and the others. Oh, interesting. I thought that I had put okay, well then I'm going to show you. Oh, I know why. I didn't have to because it was on this cover. So let me just show you all right here. That guy, that was the one that you see right now. That creature rose from the water and basically came after to attack the Genevieve's boat and her crew. They narrowly, thanks to a variety of checks and good luck and good fortune and good thinking, managed to actually get to the island. And when they got to the island, this young man, a picture of whom I will show momentarily, came running out and basically, as they rushed out, came out and said, told them to sort of run to them, basically run to the hut, and pushed this sort of half-eaten square of bread into their hands and yelled, "Hail, guest of Freodin!" And the minute that he yelled this massive creature watched and then turned and headed back into the water. And after introducing himself as Lamwin, explained to Genevieve that now that she had been made a guest of Freodin, she and her people would be safe from that creature, which he referred to as Flodwerd. But now also they would never be allowed to leave because Flodwerd apparently has gone mad and is refusing to allow anyone on the island to depart. So that is where we ended our last session. And so as we head back into the session, I'll bring us back now to this map. And now I will show you this figure. I'll probably do this, I guess, on roll 20 of Lamwin.
In the meantime, I can share a tidbit from my notes from last session.
Okay.
That is mainly about the portent that I got.
Oh, yes.
My notes underneath say bad! Exclamation mark. Not good! Exclamation mark.
What the heck?
Because good God, so that was not a good portent.
Yeah. The specific of the portent was
Weary, close zone. Soon? So is it
close
soon or
sewn.
sown?
Sewn. Yeah, S-E-W-N,
Sown.
sewn. Yep. Close sewn.
Funeral
Yep.
and saltwater.
What could go wrong? Weary, close sewn, funeral, saltwater. That also meant that the player, so Genevieve has 0 inspiration, separate from Chad, of course, helping out if need be. Followers have 2 inspiration. That's not too bad. And then the GM, myself, has 2 inspiration points, and I'm sure I will use those only in the service of good. So paint us a portrait of your portent. Well, this is basically what you have. So Genevieve, when you arrive and you've introduced yourself and this person has introduced himself, you have a chance to see him more. Now, it's a picture that you see on screen. So this is a young man whose tunic and trousers hang loosely on his skinny frame. He has kind of a long, tanned face, fairly tall, almost a little gangly maybe. Has sandy bright brown hair and bright eyes. And as he looks at you, he smiles and he says, well, I didn't expect that would work, but I'm glad that you made it. Floatware doesn't really like people, going or coming, I suppose. But you're fine now. You just can't ever leave.
What was that?
Oh, that
As she stands there wringing out her dress.
yeah, exactly. And let me turn on. I realized I had my music off. Okay, now it's back on. Well, that's Floatward, the protector of the island. As long as we know, the Floatward's been there to keep us safe. It's just that for some reason, Floatward now doesn't want us to leave. Maybe that's part of keeping us safe. Can't get hurt if you don't go anywhere.
Well, that doesn't hold truth, does it? Statistically speaking, most fatal accidents happen within the household.
He says, no. I've heard that. And then you go, the more you know.
So that giant or what that was, that was Floatweird?
Right. Yeah, that's Floatweird. Yeah. We call him the Shark Dredger. He tries to keep us safe. He does that a lot of ways, but one of them's by he kills all the sharks. Anything dangerous, really. And then you realize you may have remembered this from last time that there were all these bodies of sharks that were like sort of on the beach and like torn up and ripped in half and pretty grim stuff.
Right. Great for the ecosystem. Why?
Well, no one really knows. And his smile falls a little bit and he says, don't take this the wrong way, but who are you? I mean, I know you gave me your name, but like, why are you here? Because you see, I'm the lookout technically, and I'm not supposed to let people. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. Oh, and you can see like he's going through the stages of maybe I shouldn't have let this person in without asking them about things first. And he says, I need you to declare your intentions. I think that's it. He says, well, wait a minute. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out this piece of paper and he unfolds it. And he says, it's been a long time, you see. Why have you come to Hreodin? In the name of the queen, give your names. Your names. He looks up. It seems like he's trying to be stern.
Well, I already gave you my name. It's Fefa.
Oh, that's right. You did that. Well, never mind. Like, what are you here for, though? I mean, why are you here?
Well, I was sent here by someone named Cartesia.
Oh, Cartesia. I haven't seen her.
That was her.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
I haven't seen Cartesia in a long time. So she made it out, or she? Well, and there's this sort of like long pause, and he says, I look, I probably shouldn't have given you the bread. I shouldn't. I just didn't want to see you get hurt, but I'm not really supposed to. This wasn't. And he sort of like keeps trailing off. You can see that he's like, something is bothering him as he's thinking through things.
Let me guess. Now the giant won't let us leave.
Yes. Once I gave you now you're a guest of the island. And I also don't even know if you were planning to invade the island. Cartesia, that's a good sign, though, but I should bring you to, and he's like musing to himself.
Wasn't Cartesia with us? Or did she stay in
No, I think Cartesia stayed, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
If we were planning to invade here, I don't think that would have been happening anyway, considering. And then she like takes a moment to do a head count.
So as you look out over your crew, it looks like everybody is. Looks like all of your followers are there, and it looks like your crew survived as well. The ship is a little beaten up, but is more or less fine. And you see no sign now of the Shark Dredger Flodweird, although, it just sank below the waves. It came out of the waves in the first place, so, yeah.
What about the ship?
Oh, you mean whether it can leave?
No, I'm asking you as a game master. Is my ship still intact, or?
I said that it was. I said that it was beaten up, but still ship. It's still seaworthy. But it definitely took a little bit of damage getting in. But it did make it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go tend to my crew now, and then I'm gonna come back to you.
All right. Just make sure you come back to me directly, and don't get in the water. Flodweird won't like it.
All right. Well, everyone, let's try get our ship further on the beach before the tides can get it. And she marches towards the beach in the hopes that the giant won't immediately jump out of the water again. And,
So you do manage to pull in the boat from the beach. As you do so, you hear the sailors kind of muttering to themselves, and as you look down, you can see that part of the problem is that they're literally, as they're pulling it up, having to pull it over the bones and spines of sharks. Like that, like you, and it strikes you at first what you thought you were walking on was some sand and then some seashells. You actually don't think these are seashells. You think these are bones. And cartilage and, stuff like that.
Yum, yum.
Yeah. But you pulled it up. You were able to pull the ship up enough. Yasib comes up to you and says, I don't blame the men for being... Don't blame them all for being restless. Do you think they'll be all right here on the beach? These shark, the bones. And he kind of shakes his head.
Right. Crew? Let's carry the ship a bit further off the beach. Just, to get it out of these. And she points at everything.
Yeah. The crew sort of leaps to your order. Apparently they're pretty relieved. And they pick it up collectively. They pull the boat further in so that it's away. The farther away, obviously, you get from the shoreline, the fewer bones there are until it's mostly just sand. I should mention, by the way, that in addition to the salt cabin, the sort of the hut that the Lamwin ran from, there is also here a stone tower, which is fairly tall, probably about, relatively speaking, probably about 3 stories tall.
Oh, fuck. Hit my elbow.
Wow. It's like, I just thought you were really angry at towers. Like, God,
No!
fucking tower.
Music bone.
Oh, no. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's what awaits you if you go back in the water. No.
Yep.
But the tower is about
bitten by a half-eaten shark.
yeah, exactly. But it's about 3 stories tall, and is unusual because it's sort of off by itself. But the thing I want to note is that on the roof of the tower, from here you can see, without even having to make a check, there are what look like ashes and smoke stains that you can kind of see on the roof of this tower.
Okay.
And then his cabin and all that, but
right. But like before getting back there, like would like tell the crew to like stay away from the shore, and look into repairing the ship and like getting it seaworthy again.
And they nod. The captain comes up to you and says, just so you know, one of the crew found this, and I just wanted to show it to you. And hands over a dry, like bleached by the wind and sand, whatever, but definitely a human skull, not a shark bone. And he says, we haven't found, the rest of it all seems to be fish and shark bones, but, and he kind of like shakes his head.
Yeah, I mean, evidently our stone giant here isn't too picky about his quarry.
What's to keep him from just coming on shore and smashing our boat to bits?
Fifa looks around. Does she see anything that would look like stone giant footprints? Because they should be pretty obvious, right?
Yes, not right around you, but make a legends check for me, please, which is intelligence based.
That's a big old 9.
Big old 9. Yeah, not specifically. It's possible that Lamwin may know more about where this thing goes or doesn't go, but you don't see any obvious there's definitely no obvious footprints or anything like that you would be able to tell without a check. But there's also, you're not sure if there's other more subtle examples of the giants, of the, Floatward's work or sea giants' work. So not anything that you can see clearly, at least not from here.
Well, I don't see any giant footprints, do you? So I don't think he likes to come on shore often.
Maybe. And kind of looks very uncertain. All right, well, we'll take care of the ship here, and I'll keep them all occupied, scrubbing and getting everything ready, but I'd be careful. I don't like anything about this place. And he kind of looks nervously at the water.
Neither do I, but I don't think we have much choice but to press on at this point. So you got this, and she like slaps him on the back, as she has seen Runzel do with other people, but like she's like not nearly as strong as her, so it's just like a pet.
And he's like, he kind of nods, and sort of awkwardly heads off. Okay. So you've got the tower from which Lanwin actually ran to begin with, I should say, just in front of it. And then behind him, up the hill a little bit, you can see there is this, what looks like a small hut, like a cabin of some kind. And then the hill extends further, and you think in the distance you might see smoke rising from some kind of like, campfire or mead hall fire or something like that as well.
Right. I think at this point, Vivar and the gang would just go back to Lamwin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lamwin is standing now just in front of the tower, looking out sort of nervously to the ocean and then back towards where the fire is coming from, actually, and then back down. He says, "Oh, all right. So you've then you fixed your ship. You got your ship fixed."
No, that's gonna take a while, but my people are on it. So, what exactly is going on here?
Well, I'm the lookout, and we just protect people from who are coming in or out. And well, everything's fine except we can't leave. And I don't really know why. That's up to the Queen to tell you, but I don't know that I should be taking you to the Queen. I mean, this whole thing is, I kind of got thrown off, to be honest with you. It's been a long time. I was in there just, and he points at the first floor. You can see the door is open to the first floor of the tower. I was just in there, and I was having my my lunch, as it were, and then I saw you coming, and I walked out. I hadn't seen a boat coming in for so long. I walked out. I mean, I'm the lookout after all. And then I saw you were in trouble, and I just didn't want you to get hurt. But I should have waited. I'm the lookout. That's my job. And so now you're safe. But, well, you're still not from here.
Yeah, well, once the cat's out of the bag, difficult to get it back in, huh? So, right. Do you know anything about some Kanfa person?
And he sort of like squints up and he says, Kanfa, Karfar you're talking about?
Possibly.
Oh, well, yeah, Karfar, he's somewhere back in the island. I don't know where he is right now. Why?
Cartesia mentioned him.
Oh.
So
Cartesia would have, yes. I see why. Well, he could, if you can find him. I mean, although you're really not supposed to go, and and he continues to look like extraordinarily uncomfortable about feeling like he's not doing his job. You get the sense. Or at least not all of his job.
Well, what does your fancy little paper there say what we should be doing?
And he looks down. He's like, "Oh, yes." And he looks down. He says, "It says," and he trails off. Well, it doesn't really say anything after the declare yourselves and your intentions.
Right. So you've done your job and we can go?
Okay, I'd like you to make a persuasion check for me, please.
She's not trying to persuade him.
No,
she's
I know.
More like, what's happening?
I know.
Persuasion. Oh, I get such a huge bonus of 0 in that. That's a 6.
He says, all right, well, look, and he kind of like looks uncomfortable, and he says, you're going to have to just come with me to the Queen. I'll take you with me to the Queen, and she can figure this out. And if the Queen vouches for you, then it's fine with me too. And he draws himself up a bit. He looks like he's maybe, 100 pounds soaking wet.
Well, that's fine then. Lead us to your Queen then.
All right. And he sort of looks very happy that now he's actually delivered some aspect of his job. And he turns around and heads off and up. So just to show everybody a little bit about what this looks like. This place here, I guess I can show a little bit beyond it. Okay. This here are basically the hills. And as you sort of come further in to these hills, you can see that the whole area kind of is grass covered, and there are sort of rocks that are littering the rolling hills. and so on. But it looks like most of the real action of this place, at least on this side of the island, is right around where you're going, where there's enough flat space to basically build some things like cabins and towers, and where you're actually going, which is, of course, to the mead hall here. As he brings you up to this, now having fulfilled having fulfilled his job as he sees it, he's returned to his usual sort of jovial manner, and he chatters with you the whole way up about different things about, the nature of grass over there, and they had a farm over there, but that farm didn't work out. It sort of fell down. They ended up building a new one over there, and that one, and he's just like, chatter as he goes up the hill. It occurs to you watching him, Genevieve, you've had enough battles in your time at this point to know this does not look like someone who was given the job of lookout for his martial skill. Like either he's hiding it really well or he just doesn't really know what he's doing with a weapon. But he is a very sort of engaging figure. So maybe they picked him because they figured he was, had the gift of gab, as it were.
I see.
But regardless...
I want to reply to what Triffid said.
Oh, yeah.
So this game was written by a bunch of people in England. So that probably means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They have direct influence and experience, of the exact problem. Yeah, no kidding. It's true. Okay. So as you come up to the hall, he says, "All right. Well, here's Wayfarer's Rest." So Wayfarer's Rest is the picture of a merchant's mead hall, and I think I actually have a picture of Wayfarer's Rest. Which I will show to you on screen.
The Merchant's Meat Hall.
In just a moment. Let's see. Okay.
God, I could go for some meat now, but I can't have any alcohol with my medication.
Oh man.
That sucks.
Okay.
Well, I probably can have a glass or something, but then I get a whole bottle of something, and then I have to toss everything else away because it doesn't stay good long enough once you open it.
You couldn't like get a couple get a few of you friends together, boyfriends, bandmates, just get everybody together and like as much.
Problem is that they would all need to drive to get here. So
yeah,
no
that's
drinking anyway.
No, that's a problem.
Like a whole issue.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, at the top of the screen, you can see what Wayfarer's Rest looks like. I'll sort of increase that size a little bit. In some ways, very traditional looking, and I should say that as you're climbing the hills up to it, you can see a few of these sort of distant farm steadings and a couple of maybe fishing huts scattered about, Genevieve, but the bulk of the community, you think almost certainly lives and works around these sort of central locations of the Wayfarer's Rest. And as Lamwin is walking next to you, there are a few people sort of waving at Lamwin as he goes by, and as they see you, they have some interesting reactions. Some of them look almost like they start whispering to each other as they see you, like, oh, and then a couple of others are sort of scowling at you a bit. Think of Fellowship of the Ring, the film, when Gandalf gets to the Shire, there's that one guy who just gives him a stare down, right? There's a little bit of that too. As you're sort of moving up here too.
Apparently, that guy is oh god, what was his name? Lobilia's husband? Or am I wrong about that?
Oh really, Lotho?
I think that's supposed to be him.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
I would need to ask the boyfriend downstairs. He knows who like all the unnamed characters actually are.
I did not actually know that. That would be really interesting if that were true. Okay, so as you're climbing the hill, you see all these things that I mentioned, and then of course you see the hall itself. There are no high walls, there are no palisades, there are no real natural defenses. As you've often seen here, Genevieve, coming to these places, clearly they plan these things to make it easy to trade, not easy to defend, because the assumption is, but it is a little interesting to you, though, that there seems to be very little kind of guarding being done at all here. I mean, even at most mead halls that have royal figures, again, Lamwin said he was bringing you to see, quote, the queen. Normally they're like, guards for queens and stuff like that, but you don't see any of that here. Instead,
Yeah, well, we already met the one guard they need here.
yeah,
huh?
this is their only guard, yeah. But as you get close to the hall, instead of seeing like gargoyles or screaming stone faces or anything, you see carvings at the gable ends and like the wooden sides. You see carvings of swift ships and bountiful seas kind of on the hall itself, the mead hall.
Wait, why would there be gargoyles on a meat hall in the first place?
Well,
It's
but like stat,
a few centuries off.
not gargoyles, but like gargoyles is the wrong term. But like, there's no, there are no like symbols of like on rocks or stones that you sometimes would see that are supposed to be protective against either evil spirits or invaders. That's what I mean, not gargoyles. And you do see sort of milling about the doors a couple of people with weapons. There are a couple of people with spears, but to be honest,
Well, I mean,
like,
those are easy to get. Those just show up
they
when you
just
need
show
them.
up, as we know in this game. Pretty much, yeah. Like, these people are all like, a couple of them have, maybe that's a gesture towards a leather tunic, maybe, kind of. You see like other, like, a couple of them are wearing hats that maybe are supposed to be helmets, but this is like less than a village, the equivalent of a militia, right? Like, this is less than that. Like, these, you get the impression they're not, and they don't exactly jump to when they see you either. They do sort of give you the same kind of mixture of ooh, and a couple of suspicious looks, but nobody really stops you. And when Lamwin comes up to them, Lamwin says, I've got strangers to see the queen. And one of them is like, almost shrugs and kind of moves out of the way of the door. Lamwin turns to you and says, you see, well, since Floodward's been there, we really haven't ever had anyone come to attack or do anything, so I think the guards don't really do much guarding these days. And one of them hears it, shut your mouth, Lamwin. You can't wield a weapon yourself. And Lamwin's like, I didn't mean any offense. And you see the other one sort of like, kind of waves his hand at Lamwin, and Lamwin, looking slightly put out, brings you inside the mead hall. Now, inside the mead hall, you've had many cases going to be for where you've been inside mead halls, and typically they tend to be places of, some light, some, some warmth. Sometimes there's music, sometimes there's chatter. There was one exception to this, which is way back at the Hermit, the first adventure I think that we did with Runesild, where those people were a little bit kind of they're pretty quiet for a mead hall. That's really what this reminds you as well, because as you walk inside the mead hall, you notice that it's nearly empty. There are a few people mingling on the wooden benches, and so it's so empty that you can almost hear their whispers like you were inside a church, like carrying across the wooden floor, so there's this kind of that kind of thing. Very strange. Definitely not mead hall typical. And you can see that they also have, many of them have plates. But I would like you to make a perception check for me, please. These plates do have food, but ...
Food. Uh-oh. So I've watched the new Frankenstein movie the other day.
I've heard
very,
good
very
things.
good.
Is it good? Okay.
Very,
yes.
yeah. Disgusting, but very good.
Yeah.
Like the gore and stuff. But now I'm like just thinking about a bunch of other Guillermo del Toro movies. Like I have them like all present in the back of my head currently. So like the first thing that came to my mind was like Pan's Labyrinth, the feast with the guy with the hand eyes.
Yep. You and I talked about this last week actually off stream, I think, about Del Toro and grossness. Yeah.
Rolling great today. That's a solid 10.
To get these out of the way now, I suppose. Yeah, it wasn't a difficult check. You did just make it. The idea was, as you're looking around, you notice that a lot of the people holding these plates, they do have food on them. They're pretty small. Like, there's not a lot of food on these plates, and you can see that several of the people are sort of picking at the crumbs. Like, you don't think there's much else to be gotten from some of the empty plates that you see, and yet there's still people kind of like, trying to get the food that's there if they can. And at the end of the hall, sitting on a somewhat higher wooden seat, kind of leaning, looking like this, you see what must be known, because you're being led to it directly, as the queen. Let me put a picture of the queen up for you. Whoa, okay, I just made a... It's completely not what I meant to do. I just added a scene for no reason. Sorry, everybody. Let's try that again.
Ah!
I was like...
He destroyed everything!
Messed everything up. Okay. Sorry about that. It was funny. All of a sudden, my OBS went dark. I'm like, what? Oh, okay, that's why. Okay. Now, let's try that one more time. Okay, so this time, we'll do it the right way. Okay, coming on screen right now. So, she is leaning on the treasure seat, and Tari, I'm sure will know this reference, but those of you at home watching this, if you ever were a fan of Conan, you'll remember that one of the...
We watched that one the other week.
Conan?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
old one. Yeah.
Very cool. But you'll remember one of the iconic things about Conan is the classic leaning board on the throne. You know,
Yes.
like with it. That's very much what this is. Queen Bess was kind of like just leaning against, sort of back against the throne, listening maybe to the conversations of the subjects. You're not sure that it's boredom. Maybe it is, but it almost is like tedium, like she's been doing this for quite a while. And behind her, a large stone is hanging behind her on hooks set in the wall, and it is girdled in silver chains. And I'm going to show you what this thing looks like, because it's right behind her. It's fairly large. Okay. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Test?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, like there was like some roboting going on there for a
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Hiccup in the connection.
Okay, so I've just put this picture up. Do you see that now?
Of the queen, you mean?
The queen, but also of the spiral stone that is hanging
I
on the
don't
wall
see a
behind
spiral
her.
stone. Where am I supposed to look?
It's on the
It's not
same
on-
where the queen is. You may be behind me, maybe.
Because the stream stopped for me. I
Oh,
see.
okay. I'm running.
Yeah, it like just does that where it like
Just randomly
loses the
stops.
connection and then it
Yeah.
just can't reload for something. Yeah, okay, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, cool! We are getting a helix fossil. So
Mhm.
let's go rewrite that one, and then we are gonna have ourselves an ammonite.
It'll be great.
Or what's the name of in English of the Pokemon? It's Ammonitas in German.
Ammonite, I think sounds
Yeah, it's ammonite.
Sounds right.
Right.
So yes, fairly large, and it is currently hanging behind her. And when
I see why they would call it an ear of stone, because it kind of looks like an ear a little
kinda
bit.
looks
Yeah,
like one.
yeah.
Yep.
I get it.
And she sees you and kind of gestures, sort of gestures to you and Lamwin, and Lamston says, "Oh, good, she wants to talk to you. That's good news." And then, you come this way, strangers, and dramatically as he can manage, strides down the hall. And as you go, same thing. The people who are sort of sitting there with their plates all kind of look at you with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. I would not say that these people are they don't look as if they're sort of starving, but they clearly have eaten better at some other time. So there's a funny line, by the way, about the Conan dialogue thing. If you look online, there's the Graham Norton show had Schwarzenegger on with Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, thank you. And so she recited
So two different calibers of actor.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, that's what's so funny. So she did. So they asked her to do. Graham Norton asked her to could she just do any Shakespeare on the spot? And she's like, yeah. So she recites this sonnet. Obviously, it's incredible, and so everybody applauds, including Schwarzenegger. And Schwarzenegger's like, that's more dialogue than I had in all my movies put together. It's a really good line. And they asked him, did you ever do any Hamlet? And he's like, or do any Shakespeare? He's like, oh, yes, I did. I said to be. And then he looks at the castle. He's like, not to be. And then we blew up the castle. It's very funny. I was like, he's at least got a good sense of humor about his own limitations.
I mean, it's like also largely. I mean, he was like, first of all, he knows that he was like cast for his physique first and foremost, right?
Yeah.
But like also the accent, which funnily enough is completely lost in the German dubs. Because in the German dubs he speaks High German.
Oh
he doesn't dub himself, even though German is of native language. But because his accent is Austrian specifically, that would feel weird for it's considered weird anyway for
interesting
German audiences, because in German movies everybody always speaks High German unless they're trying to make a point about somebody being from somewhere specific.
But I mean, could he dub in his own voice for like? Is there like an Austrian version of the movie with German, with him dubbing it?
Not that I would have heard of.
I don't know. Interesting.
But then again, like Austrian media, like if there's some like Austrian exclusive media, it like usually doesn't swap over.
Yeah. Okay. That's just German. Listen, that's German acting all superior to Austria. Okay, that's the way that works.
Doubtfully, but
anyway, that's interesting though. I didn't know that.
Like for example, currently one of the biggest German-speaking actors in Hollywood is Christoph Waltz, right?
Okay.
Who is Austrian? He's from Vienna, and he also always speaks High German when he speaks German in his roles. Even though like Vienna has like a very distinct accent that you can immediately pick out, but yeah, that's like just not a thing that you do.
Interesting.
Everybody has to speak High German.
Unless, as you say,
like
they're making a point.
Unless they make a point, like for example in the German dub of How to Train Your Dragon, because in the original all the kids speak like Midwestern American English, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then all the parents and older people all speak Scottish. Right? So in the German dub, like all the kids speak High German, while all the everybody else speaks like Northern German accent, like vaguely Hamburg area.
Okay. Triffid is wondering if High German is like received pronunciation for the British, like BBC standard language.
100%. Yes. Like theoretically, there are areas where High German, like TV German, is like speaken natively. I haven't been there. I have been told that it's weird for people when they go there because everybody there talks like they're an actor on TV.
That's so funny though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And that's like also the type of German that you would learn in school, for example. But when you learn German as a second language, but not an accent that I can speak, like not fluently. It takes a lot of effort for me to speak like clear TV High German.
That's interesting.
So.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's okay. So speaking High German, no, she doesn't. But she beckons you and Lamwin over, and kind of sits up straight on her throne, on her seat. But I mean, I'll probably shorthand it as a throne. Just be aware it's kind of a wooden chair.
Thrones are. They're just big chairs.
Yeah, but like there's no gilding going on this throne, I guess is what I'm saying. In fact, the thing that looks like it has the most money in the whole place is the silver chains wrapped around the stone behind her. So they come forward and Lamwin bows and says, my queen, I've come to, and the queen waves her hand and she's like, what are you doing here, Lamwin? Who is this person? Why did you bring them to the mead hall? They should have been brought down, they stayed there until you could go up and bring some of the guards down to see who they are. Well, what if the hero was dangerous? Not the hero. What if this person was dangerous? Well, what if this traveler? What if these strangers are bandits? Well, what if... And Lamwin is kind of like just taking it all on. Why did you grant them shelter? Why did you... Why did you ask their purpose? Why didn't you ask their... And he's like, like he can't... He just sort of stops as she's just like berating him for why he brought you up here. And you notice that the people around her don't seem to be like, they're listening, but they're not like, either jumping to defend Lamwin, nor are they saying, they're kind of like they've seen this before, I guess. And after it's about 3 minutes of this. You could interrupt if you want, Genevieve, or you could wait for her to burn herself out on doing this. It's up to you.
Well, she just watches.
Okay, so she finishes kind of. He's like, well, and then she finally turns to you and she says, "All right, well, you're here. Whatever Lamwin says. Who are you?"
Greetings, my queen. My name is Genofefa. And I come to you from the court of King Sigiheri of Xanten. I was besieged by one of your people, one woman named Catesia, to come help some ailment that your land seems to have befallen. And I have a feeling that it might be that giant man of stone that almost killed all of my people while we tried to make land here.
And she
make
kind
landfall
of
here. There.
Say again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
While we tried to make landfall here.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of like she listens and nods, and she softens a bit when you do the whole "my greetings, my queen," blah 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 blah. Like you can tell she's slightly kind of like
blessings
calmed
upon
down.
your meat hall and upon your land.
Yes.
Blah,
And
blah,
she's
blah.
and she says she's like well, I'm glad that there's some courtesy that hasn't been forgotten by everyone in this land. And she kind of like looks over at Lamwin, who, next to the picture, next to the definition of the word abashed or filled with shame, the phrase "filled with shame" would be Lamwin. He looks very much chastened, and
not as red as beetroot.
Yeah, he just looks really ashamed of himself. Like he's kind of, and she says, "All right. So you've come here for Cartesia. I haven't heard her name for a while, but I'm glad she was able to come and talk to someone. And she kind of she sort of nods slowly and she says, so you've had some encounter with Flodward?
Yes.
She says, well, Flodward has tried to help us out. Although there may be reasons as to why. And she kind of looks there and she says, are these your followers? Your followers are behind you, presumably. I should have asked if you took them with you.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So she looks behind them and she says, well, you may introduce them.
And so she goes from one to the other, names them with full name, what brings them here. This here is, oh god. I need to look at the list again. Where's my list?
I brought up the pictures.
This here would be Yassib Ibn Ghalib, who comes from the far south. A strong and brave warrior. Next to him is Rigmot, a wise woman from my hometown, who has seen many secrets. This here is Aban ibn Mundir al-Falaki, husband to Yassib ibn Ghalib, and wise in words, well read. And this here is a man of few words. His name is Guy, also a warrior of great prowess.
And as you introduce all of them, she kind of you see she's looking very intently at each follower, each one, and she hears, and then she and they all bow and do their thing, and then she nods, and she says, it looks to me like you've taken good care of your followers. That matters to you, does it?
Of course.
Not every hero thinks so. Sometimes they think of heroes as disposable. They think, they think of followers, I beg your pardon. They think of followers as disposable.
Well, considering that I used to be a follower just as them, it would be it would be quite unheard of if I was to stoop so low.
Interesting. I'm glad to hear it. You're both courteous and take good care of your followers. Well, what then may I do for you in the safety of my hall, courteous one? Still looks
Oh.
stern, but does not look like hostile anymore.
Well, and then she starts to relay what Cartessia has told her.
Okay.
And so we are looking for someone named Carfar.
Ah, Carfar. She says, well, we haven't... It's been a while since we've seen him too. I worry a little bit that he may have... Well... He may not be nearby. He's a fisherman, and I haven't seen him for a while. She looks quite uncomfortable. It doesn't look like she's lying exactly, but just sort of like not a pleasant subject for some reason.
Fisherman? I hope on a river or a lake, perchance, and not on the sea.
No, and that's what worries me. He's usually fishes on the ocean, and I have not seen him for a while. I wondered a little bit of, well, and he kind of like, she sort of looks slightly sad, maybe, but indicates to you that she has not seen him, but is worried about him. I would like you to make an insight check for me, please, Genevieve.
Oui.
Oh, and you can get advantage on this, by
These
the way.
rolled today.
Yeah, I was going to see
Oh,
you
get
get
advantage. Oh, wow. Big 10 was the advantage. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
man.
totally worth it.
She so she says, as she's kind of listening to all of this, she says, the truth is, the monster that you're speaking of, Floatward, he used to protect us, and he's kept our island safe from raiders and bandits and all sorts of creatures for long than most of us can remember. But he's changed. I'd rather that you would do something and I don't want him to be slain. I just want him to be, well, to change, to learn something, and, well, frankly, if he can... My scouts tell me that there are still some sharks swimming around, and if he can purge all of those devilish creatures, well, that would be worth it. Anything to kill those damned sharks. And you can see, like, her jaw sets when she says the word sharks.
So how did this place came to be, protected by the stone giant in the first place?
And she nods. She says, for that, you should speak to our scope. And she turns and in her seat, and she gestures, and walking out from not exactly the shadows, but from, you didn't notice her before because she was just basically sitting there with a group of the other people. But you see a woman walking forward as she holds on to a harp. And I have a picture of this person.
So, Fifa's face lights up immediately as she hears the word scope.
And it's the
Because,
same
these
scope
are the
from
days
before.
electronic music playing devices, so
Yep.
the only ways to hear any music being played is if anybody actually plays it.
That's right.
Makes it themselves, so, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we do that. Do that. Save as. There we go. Okay. Coming up. If I can spell it correctly. Okay. Right. So now I will show you that on stream. Okay. Getting a crowded, bit of a crowded screen at the moment with all the people. A black woman. If you had to guess, maybe 40, possibly, has many fine brooches that are pinned to her cloak and an embroidered scarf covering her springy, curly hair. And you can see from her kind of calloused fingers that she's been doing this for quite a while. And she walks up and she bows and she says, "My queen is called." And Queen Beswa says, "Yes, I want you to tell the story of the Shark Dredger." And Ainsworth bows and says, "As my queen wishes. I would call you all here." And immediately all the people in the hall, and again, there's not all that many, but they all like gather around and sort of sit down or stop or listen. And Ainsworth plays a few, strums the harp a few times, and then begins to sing a history of them. She says, "In the times when the heroes ruled the islands now held by the Danes, a hero sailed to Raoden on ship with dragon-headed prow," and goes on in this way. The prow frightened the spirit of the island terribly, and so it dove to safety beneath the sea. The curious hero followed, charming a whale, and riding it down into the sunless depths where the spirit fled. In some stories I have heard that the hero found the spirit in a cavern, and there sundered its ear from its head, binding it forever in service to the hero and their bloodline. But I prefer the tale where the hero confronted the shaken spirit, and said to it, "Gentle creature, you saw only a carved head, spitting carved flame. It has no teeth. Heed my words, and I can teach you the difference between a true dragon and a false one." For a year and a day, the hero dwelt below the sea, teaching the spirit about the dangers and wonders of the vast whale road. But eventually it came time for the hero to return to the surface. At that, the spirit once more grew afraid, for how could it tell true dragons from false without the hero's wise words? Thus the hero and the spirit made a covenant. Should any unfamiliar thing approach the island, the hero would tell the spirit whether it brought weal or woe, and in the latter's case, the spirit would join its strength to the hero's to defend their home. To seal this oath, the spirit cut an ear off its head and pressed it in the hero's hands so that it could hear a call for aid, no matter how far away it might be. As the hero left, they said in fondness, "Your true strength emerges when you have something to protect, and you, gentle creature, are as strong as a sea wall. You shall endure long after my doom has come." And so, Flodweird, the sea wall, defends the island still, long after their first teacher met their weird. And she plays another strum, and then everyone sort of pauses, and then there's like a clapping that fills the hall. Her voice is quite melodious. Her strumming seems very secure and confident. She's obviously been at this a while. But as she's playing, you notice that she has this very shrewd, kind of keen-eyed air to her, Genevieve, and she sort of takes in your, like, looks at you, like, very keenly, as well as looking at your followers and the others while she's playing. And so she comes to an end, and the sort of, the music drifts away, and Beswa nods and says, "It is well," and Ainsworth bows low. And the queen says, "Thus the story of Flodweird. It has protected us ever since."
For how long now?
Oh, for many, many years. Oh, before I was queen, certainly. It always did the thing it was supposed to do. It always protected us. For a long time, at least.
The song said something about teaching it the difference between, what was it?
The true dragon and the false one?
Right. I don't think this one knows the difference.
And she says, "Well, it appears that's true, but I don't know what has changed. We are the way that we've always been." And she sort of nods. "Everything has been the same. except for those damned sharks. But otherwise, we have been the same as always. What could
about
have
the sharks?
changed? She says they are filthy creatures. They must be purged from the sea. You can see all the people are kind of like quiet.
Did you always feel about sharks like this?
I don't know what you mean. How other way is there to feel about them?
No, I mean, since I was wondering what has changed since the days when the giant knew what the difference between a true and a false dragon is.
I don't know. It just things have happened. But I mean, nothing unusual. Just more people coming to trade and fishermen going forth and people coming in, and that's all. Not much going on. Different, I think. Well, it was the fishermen who noticed it first, the ones who lived down at the salt cabin. They were the ones who first noticed a problem, and I don't know what to say about that. But otherwise, there's been no change here. And she looks at Ainsworth, the scope, and she says, "Right? Nothing has changed." And Ainsworth plays a chord, strums her harp, and gives a little smile and says nothing. And Beswa sort of turns back to you as if Ainsworth did say something, and is like, "There, you see?"
Well, you said the giant has been here since before you've taken the throne. Correct?
Yes.
So that would be a thing that has changed since then.
Well, that he's there, I mean, that he exists is the same as it has been. You mean, why is he doing what he's doing?
Yes, but what if it changed?
Oh, yes,
But
I don't
what
know
if
why he's changed. I don't know. I have no idea. I have ruled this. He used to protect us when I was queen, too. He wasn't beneficent only before I became queen. He's been beneficent for most of the time I was queen. It's only in the last, 6 months or so that things have changed, and there's been nothing different since then.
Did you hate sharks 6 months ago?
And you can see she kind of like grits her teeth, and she's like, "This conversation is pointless. If you have anything else to say, you can speak to me about it later on. I would appreciate any assistance. You'll be well rewarded if you can simply help temper the monster. Just talk to Flodward or something, or get him to calm down and tell him to finish with the sharks." And then she literally turns in her throne and kind of looks off.
Yeah. Fifa takes a bow. Very well, my queen. As you wish. Thank you for your graciousness. And please let us know if you may think of anything, really anything else that might have changed about 6 months ago that has nothing to do with the giant.
And she just stares off, and it's clear she heard you. You don't know, but she doesn't acknowledge it.
Then she turns towards Ainsworth.
Okay.
Thank you for your beautiful song.
And she nods. She says, "It is a beautiful work to be able to perform."
I was wondering, since you are a scope, you're probably very familiar with the goings on here, if you would be willing to walk a bit with us to show us around, perhaps?
I would certainly be happy to sing you of the histories as we do so. And she kind of steps forward confidently with her harp.
That would be lovely. Let's go.
Lamwin, by the way, is still standing, kind of staring at his feet. I don't know if that matters to you or not. Doesn't have to. I'm not telling you it has to, but just like...
Okay, yeah, no, she would look at him and be like, I suppose we could walk all together a while you get back to your post?
And Lamwin says, yes, and looks like clearly relieved, as like, my queen, I need to accompany them. Bow. And the queen, like, Beswa pays no attention, and he kind of like almost half stumbles away. And then he says, thank you. I appreciate it when he's out of earshot.
It's quite all right. I know how it is.
And Ainsworth, as you're walking along, says, yes, Lamwin has always done the best that he can. I suppose the Queen, well, you understand why she is the way that she is, Lamwin? And Lamwin nods and he says, I should have challenged these people. And Ainsworth says, well, it's not to be misunderstood. You were trying to be hospitable. That's what we should be. Hospitality is the history of our peoples, as it was 100 years or more ago.
So we are outside the hall.
Now you're
right?
outside the hall, yes.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So as soon as Gino Fifa thinks the coast is clear,
Yeah.
she like turns to Ainsworth. All right. So why does the Queen hate sharks so much?
and Ainsworth says, well, I don't know that it's my place to be able to talk about the Queen if she does not wish it.
Well, she's not here right now, is she?
Well, yes, but my job is to tell the histories, and I don't.
Well, tell me the history of why your queen hates sharks so much.
Guess what I'm going to ask for. Actually, wait, I do have a question first. Are you
Yes.
proficient? I don't remember. Is Genevieve proficient in an instrument, or?
Oh no.
I didn't think so. I just want to make sure.
No.
I know she likes music. I just was clear. I'm uncertain.
I mean, everybody likes music.
Oh, yeah,
like,
well,
come on.
There are a couple
That's like
people
one
that
of her
don't.
favorite memories from like working on the also growing up on the court of the king. That every time a scope would come about,
Yeah.
and there would be like music and like new songs she hasn't heard of yet.
Yeah.
You know?
The person who doesn't like music, I don't know what to make of those people. Anyway, I need you to make a persuasion check for me, please. Your favorite.
Of course. Boy, that's 3.
I will let you roll that at advantage for a reason I will tell you about later.
Okay, then that's a 12.
It has to do with I can't explain why.
Okay.
But has to do with your relationships with people on the island. So that's a 12.
Because I was nice.
Well, no, I would have, but she again, I can't talk about it yet. So she says well, can you tell me what you've seen of this? Before I answer that question, can you tell me what you've seen of the shark dredger? What he looks like?
I didn't really have a lot of time to like marvel at his features or anything. Mainly that he's big and made of stone and tried to kill my crew and me.
And she nods and she says, tried to kill your crew and you. And then Lamwin nods and she sighs and she says, which means you're as stuck as the rest of us are, I see. And she strums a little bit thoughtfully, and then she says, I have only seen Flodwerd once in person from a distance. Flodwerd does not come on to the island. He stays in the water beyond it. But I have heard it described in stories. And she sort of pauses here and then says, Lamwin, and Lamwin kind of looks up, and she says, they're going to want to go to the salt cabin. Can you tell them that they're coming? And Lamwin sort of nods and says, all right, Ainsworth, and turns and sort of strides away, almost half running. And Ainsworth turns back to you and says, I don't like to tell this story to many people because it's controversial. There's one person on the island who has seen Flodwerd as they actually were, or at least before they lost their mind. Flodwerd would actually, according to this person, do tasks, build things. The tower that you saw on the beach was built by Flodwerd. The Flodwerd was gentle, kind, and then something changed. And only this one person has ever seen them in this form.
And who is that person?
Her name is, and her voice drops very low. Her name is Eorknan, which is Eorcnan, by the way.
Something about horses?
Eorknan always had a special relationship to the spirit. And sort of pauses and then says, it was right about the time that Eorknan disappeared that the Floodweird became what you see now.
So why did she disappear?
She had a falling out with her mother.
And her mother would be the queen.
Yes. The queen has been distraught ever since her daughter's disappearance. They fought just before Eorknan ran away. I don't know what best was said to her, but whatever they are, they've weighed heavily on the queen.
And the queen believes that the vanishing of her daughter has something to do with sharks?
The queen believes that Eorknan is dead, killed by those same sharks. There were some
and
human
that was
bones.
about 6 months ago.
Yes. There were some bones found on the beach. Ever since then, this beast has been ripping sharks to shreds. And not only sharks, anything it can find that gets close to the island.
I see. So where was she last seen?
The last time that we saw her was, well, it wasn't actually me. It was Cuthbert who saw her last. She was near the salt cabin. Cuthbert is the steward. It's his job to manage the fish coming in and out of the sea, although there hasn't been much to manage over the last few months. Cuthbert was the last one that spoke to her. And Trifidae said salt cabin, not salt cavern. Those salt caverns are also cool. There's a pepper
You did
cavern
mention
you go
salt
to later.
caverns earlier.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there is yes, that's true. There is a salt cavern from the stories, but what you're talking about here is a salt cabin.
Okay. I assume that is about a cabin that is about storing salt and not a cabin that is made of salt.
Well, you don't know, but you have not seen any salt-made
Um,
cabins so far. Maybe a
By
salt
the way, what
lamp.
was the queen's name? Like, I know you mentioned it earlier, but...
Beswa is the queen's name. Beswa.
What, again?
Bes.
No, just say it out loud.
Oh,
The name.
Beswa.
Beswa.
Mhm.
Lots of new characters being introduced this
Mhm.
session.
I was saying my screen was getting pretty busy. And this one, and this one.
So, now of course this is all just speculation, but I have a feeling, that that big stone spiral that was hanging in the chains behind the queen's chair, that has probably something to do with our giant.
That I don't know. The stone is, well, it was brought here some time ago, and the queen thinks of it as an ancestral heirloom. I don't know why exactly she keeps it behind her, nor do I know how seriously she takes it. She doesn't try to protect it necessarily, but it obviously stays in a spot of safety.
What about the chains? Were those always on there?
She had the silver chains basically made from elsewhere on the island. This is before, though, everything happened with Floodweird. It used to be that a lot of artisans and traders would come to Hredan. They would do their work, the food was plentiful and it was isolated enough they could do their work without interruption. But that has stopped. Now there are only, well, really just me as a musician of sorts. I suppose I have a captive audience, though. And she sort of chuckles about 2 times and then kind of gets pretty grim again.
Well, it is not every day that one has the honor to hear songs from a scope, so...
She bows.
And, so, yes, I suppose your suggestion would be right. We should be going to the salt cabin. And meet those fishermen, I suppose.
And she nods. She says, I will bring you to them. They're a rough and ready lot, most of them. They are good people, but they have their own way of living in the world. They don't totally agree with the way that the Queen sees things, but they do respect her. She's tried to keep them safe, I suppose, as best she knows how. And she's saying all this while you're walking towards, like, that general direction.
By the way, can you remind me what exactly Cartessia said last time?
I believe Cartessia said that there had been some terrible, basically, curse that had hit the island. What I was trying to remember, though, before, because I didn't look at this, I was looking at all the rest of the details. I was trying to remember if she had told you that Kerfar was her partner, who had been on the island and she had not heard from, and had managed to escape to warn people of what was going on here. I think that might be right, because I think in my notes I have Kerfar as a fisherman, but I'm not sure if that's right.
I have written down Kerfar deckhand from Theoden.
Okay, yes, but that still fits. That's right, he is a deckhand, but he's a fisherman from this island, because basically everyone here is more or less a fisherman or an artist / trader.
Not currently, are they?
Not at the moment, they're not. Nope. Okay, so the salt cabin, which I have a picture of, which I will put up now, smells undeniably of the sea.
Gee,
so,
how did that happen?
Who would have thought? Okay, but it is pretty
I expect
overwhelming.
Everything here to smell of the sea, considering that we are here by the sea.
That is true, but but this smells real. Something's real fishy. It smells super salty. Okay, so there you see a picture of the salt cabin, and you can see as you're walking up to it that there are all of these. There are sort of people walking up, although not many, with catches from their shore traps. You can see there's a few other people that are mending nets. Or sitting around doing what you think might be gutting fish, possibly, although, again, there's very few of them, and you see a number of people that are just sort of sitting around doing nothing. You have a guess that, like, probably this was a lot busier in the old days before everything happened with Floodweird. And when you come up to them, you can see a few of them that are sort of close by. And one of them sort of sees you as you arrive, and she's carrying this large crate, really, of what looks like it's filled with fish, and walks up, super muscular, and she sees you, and she sees, Lamwin said you'd be coming. Well, excuse me just a moment. And she drops the box on the ground, and it's like, like really heavy, it sounds like, and like you hear this squishing sound, and she says, my name is Wasa. I'm help around here as much as I can, and happy to help you if I can. You said that you're trying to help solve the problems we have here, but to be honest, there's a lot of problems to solve. I don't know that you're going to be able to do it. Nothing against you, you understand, but some problems just aren't solvable. I have a picture of her, which I will show as well. I know you were feeling sad that there weren't more characters to have, so I heard you like characters, so I gave you some more characters in your characters. Okay, so I'm going to put that on screen. So she introduces herself as Wasa the Waylaid. And the Waylaid, and here is a picture of Wasa the Waylaid.
You've been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Exactly. So she says, I've got more work to do, but I suppose if you don't have any questions for me, you can just head inside and talk to all of them. I'm sure all of those layabouts would be happy to do so, but, well, I've got fish I have to carry. And she kind of looks like she's ready to bend down again. She has fish guts and blood and all this stuff, like basically all over her, and seems completely unconcerned by it. So.
Why would you think that this problem might not be solvable?
Oh, well, sometimes that you've seen the size of that thing. As long as Floatware decided that we're not supposed to leave, we're not going to. Look, I've tried.
Well, I mean, everything has to come to an end eventually. And as a wise scope from my homeland once says, everything has an end except for the sausage with such stew. So,
And she, Wasa sort of like gives you a crooked smile, and she looks at Eanswith next to you, and she says, well, the scope would know more about scope talk. I'm mostly just good for heavy lifting. What do you think, Eanswith? Do these people have any reason? Can we believe that they have any reason to think they could actually do something with Floatward? Maybe they should just punch him in the face and be done.
Only I could reach that far.
And Eanswith plays a little chord, gives a bit of a smile, but says nothing. And Wasa says, that's the problem with scopes. They're always quiet when you need them to talk and singing when you need them to be quiet. You need to do a little bit more with your work here, Eanswith. If you were carrying a more heavy instrument, perhaps you could focus on something more than just making up pretty ditties all day. And she leans down. She starts to pick up her box. And she says, but the reality is that most people that I speak to don't understand what they're really facing. I'd like to say, nothing personal, but you probably are in the same boat. I imagine you think that you can actually do something to solve this problem and deal with Floatware, but I've heard it before, to be honest. And I don't, there's just no getting around that thing.
Well, thing is, I have very little choice on the matter, actually, unless I just intend to stay here indefinitely, which I do not. So I'm at least going to try.
And so she, as you say that, she has lifted up the box again. The box, by the way, she's lifted up as if it's like a piece of paper, like just with ease. And she stops and she kind of like looks at you over the fish. The smell, by the way, is stifling, like oh my God. Imagine salmon having gone bad like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no.
And now like, what?
This is giving the fisherman from Asterix.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Fresh fish.
Yeah. Fresh fish. Ugh. So anyway, the stench is incredible.
Because like the thing is like if you ever have been like to a proper fish market or something like that, they don't actually smell bad, It's just because fresh fish doesn't stink usually. Right. So
no, it's the fish that you've allowed to go bad that
smells
stinks,
of salt, basically.
Yeah. Because what people typically talk about with like fishy taste is like I really like salmon. And I really like salmon taste. Bad fish, however, tastes awful, whatever it is. So like,
yeah.
And anyway, so she looks at you over the mounded fish over the crate, and she says, you really think you could do it?
I am unsure, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. If I think I can do it, I'm going to try either way.
Well, I mean, you're not just going to swim to your own death.
No, I'm going to try and be a bit smarter about that.
She kind of like narrows her eyes. All right, look. She turns. Box goes down on the ground again. And she says, listen, now I need to help. I try to help these people and keep them out of trouble. If you're going to be another one of those that just thinks you can do something and you're like, well, the gods will find a way, the three winds, the witches, the this, the that. If you're going to be one of those types, she kind of trails off and she narrows her eyes. She's like, you pick up that box? And she looks down at the box of fish.
Me?
Yes, you. You're the one who's going to try to take on Floatward by yourself and your followers, I suppose.
She's gonna attempt to pick up the box, and I'm already gonna call it that she's not gonna succeed. But
Outstanding.
Guess you're gonna have me
Do you have an
roll,
athletics?
Right?
You don't have athletics, do you?
I have. I do actually have points in athletics.
Hey. All right. So go ahead and make your roll. Now, before you do it, don't forget, chat. We do have inspirations available. We're about middle of the month now, so.
Why am I proficient in athletics? That's an odd thing to be proficient.
I think you said that the last time we had an athletics check, and I don't know the answer as to why you were.
Oh, might have come with the background.
Maybe. Why wouldn't you have a proficiency in athletics? Imaginary asks.
I think once again Prince Justice might come in clutch and save the day. Yes.
Prince Justin has inspired Genevieve. Thank you, Prince Justin.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Imaginary, I do want to say a quick note, Imaginary. So Prince Justin did it this time. You can also, don't forget, pick up a channel point inspiration because there is one of those left this month that is not spoken for. And I'm pretty sure you have enough channel points to redeem it. So just double check and see if you do, Imaginary. Thank you, Prince Justin, for that inspiration. All right, Genevieve, you have been inspired.
Yeah, I'm using that inspiration. And I didn't need it. That's
well,
21.
Still, 21. So you, like, how does this look when you pick it up? Like, do you do like the snatch and grab, like way over your head type of thing? Or like...
First of all, she looks like really unsure about the whole thing, but like also, you know, she used to like be a serf, right? So she's kind of used to carrying heavy sacks of flour and jugs of meat and all that kind of stuff around, right? So she's not a stranger to physical labor, quite the opposite.
Mm-hmm. And I should say, by the way,
so she like does a proper technique of like, you know, lift with legs, roll down off the back.
Yeah, and a lot of the people, some of the people around the set, like, you know, the ones who've been gutting fish or whatever, they all stop to watch this, and like watch you do this. So you do so, you pick it up, and Wasa nods and says, "Not bad, not bad," and says, now, and she sort of like narrows her eyes, says, all right, you can show that you're strong enough. This is while you're still holding the fish, by the way. It is quite heavy, although you've done a wonderful job grabbing it. She says, all right, you've proven you can do that. What if I told you, and she looks at Ainsworth, and sort of like raises an eyebrow, and Ainsworth sort of, all right, Ainsworth says. And Wasa says, what if I told you that I could carry these fish from one end of the island to the other, and not a single dram of fish guts would hit the ground, so fast would I be moving? And she opens her eyes and looks at you as if she's waiting for you to respond, and Ainsworth does a bring, and around the cabin everyone's like, oh, and they all like gather, they sort of signal each other. A couple people come out of the cabin and they all come over to listen, and they build like a circle around you, and they all look at you. They all seem really excited.
Genevieve genuinely stands there, like tilts her head slightly to the side. But why?
And she says,
do they need a box of fish guts on the other end of the island? Can't you just use a cart?
And Wasa turns around and says, you see, this person can carry fish, but does not know why they carry fish. And there's sort of a general chuckling among the audience. And she turns to you and says, the point is, I could run so fast that not a single bit of fish guts would touch the land. What say you? And she kind of raises her eyes again. And again, Ainsworth, bring.
I would say good luck with that. In the meantime, I'm going to try and figure out what's going on here.
And there's kind of a, and the audience kind of like walks away. And Wasa sort of shakes her head and she says, all right. I was hoping that we could have a friendly little boasting competition, but apparently not. And she holds out her arms. I'll take the box back.
Well, I'm not really in the mood for boasting. And she like hands over the box. Considering that some of my men died today, so
and when Wasa hears that, her smile drops away, And she puts down the box and she says, I am very sorry to hear that. The loss of life, especially for people that work for you or that you work with, that's a terrible thing. I'm very sorry. And she looks like very sincere. And Ainsworth says, is Cuthbert inside? And Wassa says, yes, that old trickster. You can find him in there. And she picks up the box again and she says, did you also introduce yourself as Genevieve to her? I don't think you did,
I don't
right?
think I had the chance to introduce myself.
So she says, all right, well, be well. If you need any more information about how to carry fish around an island, well, you know who to come to see. And she winks at you, and then she sets off up down the path, basically, towards this other area where it looks like there's some other people doing some work with some of the fish.
And Genevieve leans into Ainsworth and asks quietly, is this why the fish stinks so bad? Because she decided to carry it around all day? Instead of, like,
And
making food with
Ainsworth says, she might hear you. The last thing we want is for her to know that the fish stink. She winks at you.
Haha. Oh, all right. All right.
So Wassa want. Okay, I couldn't resist. She departs. Okay. And you are outside still the salt cabin.
Right. Oh, I know what they do here. What's it called in English again? Koshering? Is that what it's called? Koshering fish? Like when you usually you do that with meat when you pack meat in salt.
Exactly. You're
yeah.
not seasoning it, but essentially what you're saying is right. Yeah, that they're more or less preserving it.
Yes.
So.
Pökeln is what we call that in German, which is a very weird word.
Yeah. I had not heard that before. But yes, preserving is what they're doing here apparently. And everyone has gone back to doing what they were doing before.
Right. So where's this Cuthbert person? Why am I supposed to talk to him anyway?
And she
says to Ainsworth.
Yeah. Ainsworth says, well, because Cuthbert was the last one to see, and then she drops her voice, to see Eökden. But you've got to be careful and not use that name loudly. Given the way the Queen feels, a lot of people around here don't want to talk about Eökden very much. And he may not want to either. You're going to have to convince him.
All right. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Also, she rubs her hands on her dress because she can feel the stink of the fish crate.
Yeah, I should have asked if you had any cuts before because, the cut of salty fish oil, not great. Like lemon juice right into a wound. Really, really lovely.
Yes.
So, yes. And she says, well, I suppose we can go inside, but she smiles at you. She says, you might want to go in by yourself. I find that the salt is not good for my instrument, or frankly, for my nose.
All right. Thank you for bringing me here.
And she nods.
I suppose I'll see you around?
Yes, you can find me. I'll always be heard from a distance. Bring. And as she walks away, you hear her singing, I am a constant star. Mm-hmm. And you hear some people sort of saying, louder, Ainsworth, and all that. There's sort of you get the impression this is a fairly popular figure on the island.
Of course.
For, as you said, obvious reasons.
Walking jukebox.
Yep. Yeah, someone says, play Freebird when she went. No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't do that.
Anyway, he's Wonderwall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. From a distance, today there's gonna be the day.
No. Skip.
Yeah, exactly. How do I get to the next one? So when you walk into the cabin, yeah, the smell I've been talking about, whoa boy, it is somehow magnified. But you can see that inside is a group of people that all look like fishermen that have, they're, first of all, tanned. You can see weathered faces. You can see the cuts of what probably is like cuts of string or line on their fingers and hands and arms, you would guess. And they all sort of, when they see you, they don't look dour exactly, but you can tell there's sort of a little bit of a mood of unease. And then there's one person who stands out completely because he looks nothing like them. And I will show you a picture of said person.
Would it be Cuthbert? Not of the saint variety, but a regular Cuthbert.
Well, yeah, one would, yeah, exactly. It's
this
a
is a
crossover.
D&D joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's a crossover. Also, to be clear, the name would be Cuthbert with an H, Berht, which I'm not sure why.
Because that's probably just one of the billion ways to spell it.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Just add an additional H for
like
no reason.
The whole thing was like, especially when it comes to like medieval writing, that like there is no spelling rules and everything is just spelled whatever.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
that
much.
Most of all, it's true for names, which are like, depending on the author, you might not even recognize the same characters because the names are barely recognizable.
Yep.
A holy man!
Right. And that's why he stands out. This is an elderly man, red-cheeked, has a whiskery mustache and a round belly, but the cross of what clearly is the church is dangling prominently over his neat tunic. And you can see
Friar Tuck.
As you walk in, you can see that the people in the cabin are, respectful to him, but you also get the impression like he's not really picking up fish, like he's sort of like everyone else is doing their thing, and he's like, all right, how's things going here, lads? And oh, good, well, yes. And then he seems to be, you might describe it, Genevieve, as trying to look busy. Might be the way to describe this as he walks around the inside of this cabin.
Genevieve clears her throat. Is there a certain Cuthbert around?
Oh,
I would seek word with him.
And a few of the people point to him, and he says, yes, that's me. I'm Cuthbert. Hello, welcome to Raiden. It's not exactly the best place to be these days, but we do what we can. And is there anything you need? What can I do for you?
Greetings, first of all. My name's Genevieve.
And he bows. Cuthbert.
So I've heard. I was told you might have some answers for me. So if I may steal a bit of your time.
All right. Where exactly?
Can just go for a walk if you want, or sit down somewhere. I don't know. I don't live here. I don't know what there's to do.
Oh, well, there's not that much to do. You've seen all of it, I think. But anyway, yes, come out with me, perhaps.
Nice to catch some fresh air. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
And he says, yes, indeed. And he comes out. He comes out of the hall, and he says, the cabin, with you, and he says, I was just have to keep a good count on the fish that we brought in. Very important. I'm the main storekeeper of the island, you see, so it's my job to make sure that we have enough food stores laid in to the extent that we can.
I see. So I heard fishing is not going well lately.
Well, it's been difficult, yes. We have to do all of our fishing from dry land, and that makes things very difficult. Cuts way down on the yield. There's so many fish out there that, well, it's an easy matter to just go out and find what's around. But, well, it's been a long few months, I'll just say that.
Can imagine. So for how long has this been going on, then?
Probably, 5 or 6 months. We didn't really notice it at first. It didn't really happen, actually, until someone tried to go beyond the certain bounds of the island, and, well, the minute they did, in came Floodward. We've never seen anything like that. Just picked up the boat and crushed it. threw it to the ground. And then...
Oh dear.
And he nods. He looks very troubled, and he says, I did a bit of praying about that. It's been sad.
I can imagine. Barely escaped with our lives today when we arrived at the island. Sadly, not all of my crew were so lucky.
And he says, so you've been trapped here too, with the rest of us then?
So I've been told. I have not tried leaving yet, but I'm also not in the mood to do so.
That's good. You wouldn't be able to get very far before you'd be crushed like all the other poor devils. It's this is a island that is suffered greatly. We need to be able to have trade. We need to be able to speak to others, but we haven't been able to do any of it. And, well, those who've tried to escape, Wassa, for instance, I don't know if you've met her yet. She tried to swim away twice from the island.
We are acquainted.
Such a strong person, Wassa. She's tried to escape twice, but, both times she found herself coughing up her lungs from the sea on the beach. I've heard that she might try to make a third attempt, but it won't work any better than the others.
Is that why she tried to get me to do a race against her?
Yes. Wassa, you need to understand, is constantly looking for, competitions of some kind. She's as strong as anyone on the island, probably stronger, but as far as whether she's, she says she's only good for lifting. I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly true that she doesn't trust anyone that doesn't have the strength that she possesses.
Yes, I know the kind. Always have something to prove. They're never satisfied. Always higher, farther, stronger, whatnot.
And he nods, and he says...
Until they find the watery grave.
That's it. He says, I'm afraid that sometimes, people who are heroes don't realize that to get to that point, you need to have enough intelligence to make sure you've trained well enough, that you understand the situation well enough. Not that Wassa's a fool, mind you, but her method of anything is the direct approach. That's not always the way to go. And, it hasn't been the way to go with Floatward.
Yes. Speaking of which, and she looks around. Is there anybody else around currently?
There are a few people that are sort of like walking about to and from the salt cabin. And obviously, when you walked back out, actually you did not, what's her name? Ainsworth has left once you went inside, so she is not there. And obviously Queen Bess was not there. You don't also see Lamwin. Lamwin may have come and told them and then gone back to his lookout post. So at the moment, it's basically just you, your followers, and Cuthbert, but there are a couple of people that are like, in the general vicinity.
In that case, Fifa would lean in. So I have an inkling that your Floatward may be going rampage because the Queen is grieving.
Grieving, you say?
Well, about her daughter?
I don't entirely know where you've heard that, Genevieve, but...
On this island. Heard a lot of stuff on this island already. I've been here, an hour? 2 maybe?
He says, yes, things are fairly compressed here. And he kind of nods slowly. This isn't something that the Queen likes us to talk about. In fact, if she found out we were talking about it, I don't know what she'd do.
Well, then she's just not gonna find out. I wasn't gonna tell her, were you?
It's not that. It's that it almost is like things that you say have a way of getting back to the Queen, and I don't know why.
Well, in that case, what else can you tell me about what happened here 6 months ago that may have anything to do with your stone giant going rampage?
I would love a persuasion check, or I'll take deception if you have that.
Boy, no.
Okay.
They're both terrible. No.
He's like, look, the queen has the best interests of her daughter at heart. I know that Beswa and Eorknen fought. I know that Eorknen ran away, but... All right, look, I can't tell you everything, but... And he kind of like drops his voice low. And by the way, what I'm about to tell you is you would have gotten more, obviously, with a better check. So he's giving you...
I figured,
you
thanks.
figured. He's giving you the basics. Beswa had one child, Eorknen, before she lost her husband to the sea. Now, I knew her before this, and after that, everything changed. She used to say that a ring giver's duty is to protect her people, and a mother's duty is to protect her child, but I don't know, I think she forgot that other duties existed besides. She used to lecture Eorknen every day on the dangers beyond Hreidin. She barred her from leaving even the mead hall for weeks at a time to keep her safe from any threat, whether it was real or not. She used to say, trust no one but family, all others mean you harm. And then one night, there was a fight, and Eorknen left, and I thought it was better if I gave her privacy than follow her. That was a mistake. You see, Beswa blames the sharks for her husband's death. And so anytime anyone goes ever even close to the sea, she grows almost frantic with worry. Now, since the disappearance of her daughter, she's grown just as frantic with anger. Even thinking about it is just awful for her to consider. And she kind of like, he kind of trails off and says, I don't know what happened to her, but she probably, if she tried to run away, took a ship or a boat, and you saw what happens to people who try to do that. I'm sure that Flodweird finished her.
But was Flodweird already angry by that point, or did he only turn angry after she left?
Flodweird was, well, I would say it was just then, actually. Yes, it was right around the same time that she escaped that Flodweird began to do what he did. I never thought of it that way, but yes, they're about the same time.
Right, which brings us closer to proving the theory I've been building since we got here.
Well, what?
Well, I've been told that the giant has been friendly. A protector of the island, a helper for the island. Built houses,
That's
that
true.
kind of stuff.
In the old days, yes.
So I've been thinking, what if the queen's anger is what Flodweird is feeling? What if he's feeling her anger?
But do you mean she wants to? And he kind of pauses. You think he's killing the sharks because she wants to kill the sharks?
Yes?
Oh.
I'm surprised that no one here on the island has made that conclusion yet. It seems quite obvious to me. And she looks at her followers who are all nodding.
Yeah. In unison.
It's incredibly obvious.
And he says, but it doesn't make any sense. How would he know? The Flodweird,
well, he's
she doesn't
a
go
being
speak
of
to
magic.
him. But she doesn't go speak to him. She hasn't really, and it wasn't hers to begin with. It was, he's always been the protector of this island since well before she was even born.
Well, as to the how is still something that I'm working on. I have an idea, but I have to gather more information about that first. But I just sincerely hope that the giant wasn't angry already while the queen's daughter was still within reach. That he only turned angry after. Because if what I'm thinking is true, then I dare not say.
And he sort of nods slowly and he says, well, it may be that you were right. And maybe that you have been sent here by the divine to help us. And he nods and sort of holds his cross.
Oh, no. They sent me home last time I spoke with them, so.
Oh. And he kind of like gradually releases the cross. and says, we're obviously separated by denominational differences. No. He says, well, in any case, I hope you're right, but there's not much you'll be able to do about it anyway. You could go find some of the others, I suppose, and ask them. You could go elsewhere on the island. There's the wide beach. Strange things happen over there. Or the heath, perhaps. Or you could learn to fish from the shore. That might do the job as well.
Yeah, I do not intend to become a fisher. Thank you very much. But yeah, for now I'll try and figure out more about the goings on here, because I am not sure if even that giant could keep me on this island if he tried long term. So.
And he gives you this Cuthbert gives you this look like, I think you would have a difficult time. Yes, exactly, imaginary. Something fishy's clearly going on, but what? And will it scale to something else? So he says, I implore you to have care, though. The Floodward is a fearsome beast, and as strong as he was before in our defense, that's as strong as he is now against us. I'm grateful that he has not yet come onto the island itself.
Oh no. You can't tell anybody that we had this talk. That I asked about the Queen's daughter. I have an incredibly terrible feeling of what that might happen then.
All right, what?
Swear to me. And she like grabs him by the shoulders.
He's like,
you have to swear to me. Something horrible will happen if the Queen finds out.
I would like a persuasion check, but you can do this at You can do this at advantage.
I fucked up. I fucked up badly. An advantage of 14. Is that enough?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing it wasn't a 2.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, "Well, all right. I'll stay quiet as I can."
Thank you.
And he says,
you don't have to do that for my sake. You have to do that for everyone's sake.
I understand. I mean, I don't fully understand, but I understand that what you're saying about it. And he sort of nods and he says, all right, good luck with the others. If anyone has any questions for you, you can tell them I sent you. That might help.
Thank you. Do you have any idea whom else specifically I could talk to? Who might know anything?
He shrugs and he says, well, there's Wig. He doesn't talk much, though. He looks over and in a little bit of a distance from where you're standing, kind of walking around the cabin, you can see a man with gray hair and gray eyes, and looks a little unusual, I think it might be the way to describe it, sort of almost moving with this sort of grace that seems surprising. And Cuthbert says, that's Wig. He doesn't talk, but he seems to know more about the outside and inside of this island than anyone else. At least if you can figure out how to communicate with him.
Taking an important note right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because for anybody who's not currently thinking along or following my trail of thought here as to why Genofefa is suddenly so worried about angering the queen, because I have just put 2 and 2 together that if the giant truly does whatever the queen is thinking, and he does so indiscriminately, if he would get really mad, if she would get really mad at Genofefa for whatever reason, then the giant might come on shore and try to kill Genofefa and not care about what else might be in the way. So yeah. Writing that reminder down for myself so that I don't forget that by the next session.
Note, Ixnay on add things for Queen A. Like, don't do that. Where to next?
Yeah, to Wick, I suppose.
Okay. So when you walk over, Cuthbert wishes you well and heads off. You can see Wig, and I have a picture. You'll be surprised to learn. I have a picture of Wig.
A picture?
Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Like that. Perfect. All right. Okay. And coming on to the screen here in just a moment. Okay, here he is.
For how much longer are we going anyway?
About 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger that.
Here we are. There he is. So, as you walk over...
That's an elf.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. He has kind of almost a little bit of a fey aspect to him. And
looks like Wendy Peeney might have drawn him.
And he and as you come up to him, you can see that he's holding a couple of fishing lines, which it looks like he's trying to unknot. And he's working on those. And he sort of, when you come up, he kind of looks at you and just nods at you.
Greetings. Genofefa's my name. You would be Wick, I assume?
And he kind of looks at you again and nods.
Right. So Cuthbert sent me your way because he thinks you might be able to help me figure out more about the goings-on here on the island in regards to that angry stone giant that roams your shores.
And he looks up at you, and then he makes a kind of sign. It's definitely not just a hand gesture, it's a sign.
Guy, could you interpret, please?
And Guy says, "What?"
Well, considering that you are also man of your words, I figured you two might have a way of conversing that I do not have.
So you think that because I don't speak much, I can interpret for those who don't speak much?
Yes, exactly. Thanks.
And he kind of grunts, and then he sort of narrows his eyes, and he says, and he kind of looks at Wig and walks up closer to him, and Wig kind of looks up at him, and he sort of kind of grunts at him, and Wig sort of gives another gesture, and Guy turns to you. I don't have any idea, but I'll bet Rickmod does.
Ah, of course.
And
that makes a little bit more sense.
and Rickmod sort of chuckles And she says, well, silence is not always golden, as someone will say many hundreds of years from now. And she kind of sort of hobbles up, and she looks at him, and she makes some gesture, and Wig makes a gesture back, and she says, I thought so. These are signs that are used by monks of the book. They swear vows not to speak during times of day. I don't know whether this one is a monk, but that's the sort of sign he's using. And he again does this sort of strange gesture at you.
So he doesn't speak at all, or just doesn't speak to us? Like, would he speak to other monks?
I don't know that he's a monk, but he might speak in other ways. And he sort of Wig sort of narrows his eyes a bit and then does another sort of gesture. It doesn't seem to be dismissive. It's sort of some gesture.
What about nodding yes and no? Is that an option?
He gives you another gesture, which is a different one.
I don't know what that means. Was that a yes?
He makes another gesture.
I think that means no. Maybe.
I would like an insight check, please, Genevieve, but I have good news for you. You can do this inside check with advantage because you are aligned with the old ways.
Ah. That's a 19, baby.
Yeah. As you see him making these gestures, you notice something about... I should actually make you do this in real life just to see if you can tell. You notice that his fingers are always together like this. He doesn't spread his fingers out. He always does this or this. And there's a gracefulness, but there's also a kind of... He doesn't seem totally human to you as he makes these gestures. There's a sudden sound at one point. There's this coming from inside the cabin. And they all, sorry, not from the cabin, from the sea. There's a bubbling in the sea. All of them look out to the sea except for Wig. Wig instead glances towards a cluster of rocks on a low hill. So everyone looks to the sea, he looks to the cluster of rocks. And the way that his head moves and stuff is a little odd. Now, you only know that you haven't said this to him yet. It's just you know this internally.
I see. You want us to go check out those rocks down there, huh?
And he just, again, makes this gesture, which you don't know what it means.
Well, I guess we'll have a look then and then come back to see you.
And he again gestures.
Well, I can't tell if you're doing the same or different gestures because it's cut off by the screen. I don't know if that's relevant. So
right.
See you later then, I suppose.
When you and then he nods, and you go off towards the rocks on the low hill. If I understood what you were going to do.
Yes, because I have a feeling that we might find some kind of standing stone there that has been vandalized or some such or whatever, and then we need to fix it.
You don't find standing stones. You do find, however, clearly a pile of stones, like a cluster of rocks.
A cairn, one might say.
Well, not sure, but it definitely looks like it was intentionally gathered together, for certain.
Yeah, I walk around this place, have a closer look at stuff.
How about an investigation check for me, please?
That would work. 19. Now the good rolls are coming in.
Yeah, exactly. I told you they got out of the way early on.
Yeah.
They have definitely been gathered together, as I mentioned, and they seem to be clustered over a particular spot, by which I mean they seem to be gathered, like mounded over something. Whether it's a cairn or whether it's a, your guess is that it's covering over something beneath it, whether that is a grave or something else, you don't know.
Well, if I would turn to Rigmod and to Ibn Mundir and ask, does this look like a grave to you? Does this look like it's okay to dig here? Or am I going to be cursed or
And they kind of look,
I do that.
And Rigmod says, "You're already cursed on this island, Genevieve."
That's both terrifying and true point, but maybe not get double cursed?
Ibn Mudir says, "I cannot say whether this is safe or not to do, but it did not stop us when we walked over here. Whatever he or it is, I can't imagine it would want to destroy us this way."
What if this is like a memorial type of thing towards you-know-who, and if we destroy it, the queen is going to be so furious that the giant is going to come out of the water and murder us all on the spot, and everybody with us?
If it was that important, you would think that the queen would have had it protected better. If he hadn't nodded into direction, would you even have noticed it? And indeed, it is true, this does not look like a very impressive group of stones.
I suppose that's true. Well, then everybody get to work, and we all start to move stones to the side to see what might be hidden underneath here.
Takes about 10 minutes or so to move them. And when you have them moved out of the way, you move one rock out of the way and you see something gray and glistening. And you're kind of like, that's weird. And when you touch it, it also feels slightly rubbery to you.
Oh no, is it a fish?
No, as you open it up completely, you think that what you're looking at is a seal skin. But it's been carefully laid out with rocks piled on it.
Oh my god, are we having selkies here? That would be amazing. Wait, is that metagaming? Would Genofifa know what a selkie is?
I don't think, make a, let's see, make a...
Like, they're not a thing in her home region, but she might have picked up stories from far away.
Right, and there's a specific, let's have you make a... We got, in Beowulf, it's what, lore?
Legends.
Legends, yes, legends check for me, please.
Lore is in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Legend. Oh, a natural
Wow.
20!
It's a... Yes, exactly. You see, your cousin was a Selkie who told you... No. Not a Selkie, but something very similar to it. You have heard stories of shapeshifters known as Nicors, that Nicor, which most of the time are seals, but can transform into human shape. And when they transform into human shape, they keep their skin or their hide protected while they are on the land.
So it's very similar to Selkies.
Yes. Maybe the Beowulfish version of them.
Well, or like just the Anglican version of that
yeah.
versus the Scottish version.
Yeah. But I'm more familiar myself with Selkies than with Nicors, you know.
Well, because
beyond
everybody's
this, like
seen Song of the Sea or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
What was it called? Song of the Sea? Is that the name of the movie? You know what movie I'm talking about, right?
Not
The
totally.
beautiful animated one.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know it from that.
Fantastic movie.
I don't know it from that though. I've seen plenty of sort of Selkie legends. Can someone give at least one good reason why a creature
Yes, Song
capable...
of the Sea is what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
From 2014.
Why would a creature capable... No, I need to see that. I have not seen it. Why a creature
It's
capable
beautiful.
of...
You should watch it with the family.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Everybody will cry. It's so nice.
Someone give at least one reason why a creature capable of thriving in freezing saltwater would want to go and land and be a human. Well, I don't know, Imaginary, but can you imagine a reason why a creature that hangs out in water near this island might prefer to be on land at the moment? Like, that's not spoiling too much to imagine, if I were speculating.
Right.
So anyway, this is clearly a sealskin.
Right. Okay. In that case, she would like nod to her followers and would hide it again.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling that this should not be left in the open.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way. Okay. All right. You do
Also,
that.
maybe they just wanted to be where the people are.
I want to be where the people are. Up where the people are making fish guts. Yeah,
Yes.
possibly. Okay, so you do that.
Yes. And after we're done with that, would act like nothing happened and go back to Wick.
Okay, Wig is still having unknotted a line is onto the next one. And when sees you, kind of nods again.
So that thing that was under the stones, is yours, I'm assuming?
And kind of like seems a little bit troubled and kind of makes a gesture. And then looks around at the people that are sort of not paying much attention. Looks down at the sand and sketches what clearly looks like the shape of the island in the sand. And then marks a little X on the far side of the island and points at it. And in fact, I think before I show anything, let me make sure that I'm not going to reveal anything I shouldn't about the map. But I think I can probably show you that on the map now. Let's see. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Not the whole map, but part of it. So, let me reveal that. There we go. It is down this side. And right here. Right there. Again, please ignore these 7. But right there is where where Wig points at. And then looks up at you and makes a gesture. And points to the sky. And then points down to the X on the map.
Points to the sky and then points to the spot on the map.
Yeah, the X on the map that he made. There's a spot on the map map of the island, like an X that he drew, and pointed to the sky.
Is there anything noteworthy about the sky right now? Like, for example, the position of the sun?
It's that I was just about to say, because it looks like he was pointing at the sun, and then pointed at the island, and he does this.
Yeah, so the next day.
Or tonight, something.
Tonight.
But it seems maybe time related.
Oh, is he just pointing straight up in the sky?
He's definitely pointing at the sun, like
at the sun.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, we need to get there before nightfall, while the sun is still out. This is not obvious. Not easy to understand.
Yeah.
Less obvious than the queen and the shark and the giant thing all being the same thing.
Maybe layers to that whole thing, though, given what you're talking about with Wig here.
Right. So you want us to go there tonight? Today?
And he points. He sort of nods a little bit, points up at the sky, does this gesture. I don't know if you can see like that
like opening
gesture.
Something up.
Maybe. And then points down to points to the sky, does that gesture, and then points to the X. And then puts a hand on his heart. and nods at you.
We need to go there during low tide. Is that what he's saying?
And points again at himself.
Can I get a roll for this? Because
Sure.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
lost.
you're on the right track though. Let's see.
Like
what
my
else there-
my thought here right now is, oh, we need to go there at a specific point of time because then there's going to be a cave or something that's going to be accessible, which obviously would be during low tide.
Yeah, you're not sure about
Yeah.
whether it's low or high or whatever, but go ahead and make
Why would it be
intelligence check for
accessible
me.
only during high tide? That would be weird.
Unless, well, but you may not be talking about a cave. We don't know. Go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, please. I think.
Oh boy.
Actually, no, I take the back. Insight. This is definitely insight. That clearly.
No.
Yeah, you don't know. But the thing you for sure is that there's something about time, there's something about him, and there's something about that spot. That's for sure. You don't need checks for those.
You are going to be there at a specific point
And he kind of,
of time.
he doesn't say anything. He makes a gesture, but you're not going to know what that means.
I think we will just go then hang out for a time and see if anything strikes our eyes.
Okay. And he sort of like nods at you as if like, okay, I guess we're done with the conversation, and goes back to knotting his fish line or unknotting it.
Well, thank you. I won't tell anybody about the thing under the stones. Don't worry.
He looks up at you again, makes a gesture, and then goes back to what he's doing.
Right, yeah, I guess we are gonna go camping at the spot on the map for at least 24 hours, because during that time frame something surely
happen. And
surely will be seen.
As you and your followers head off that way, sorry, lost my note for a second. There we go. As you're sort of headed over that way, your Yasib, that's what I was looking for, says, Yunogi, I will never again believe that you are the quietest among us. And Guy kind of grunts as you are making your way over the hill to the beach beyond. And I think if we pull the camera back, we can probably see Cuthbert sort of looking at the sea with some uncertainty, Lamwin finishing up what's left of his lunch, and Wig kind of looking out to the sea, rubbing the back of his neck, and maybe Queen Beswa sitting on her throne, staring up at the spiral of stone. And that is where we will bring our session to a close. I told you this was a lot, no combat, right? We're not dealing with combat.
Yeah,
a lot of info that you're trying to gather, which is why a lot of characters all at once.
It's a mystery.
Yes, and I've never played a Nikor before, so interesting
Yeah, I
experience.
never heard of a Nikor before.
Interesting experience to play a
Now I'm-
shape-shifting seal.
Now I'm wondering if I should look it up, or if then that would be like, metagaming, that I know more about Nikor. So.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know that there's going to be a lot about Nikors that you're going to know now that would like spoil anything. Just as long as you don't look up this specific Nikor, I guess. But otherwise, but yeah, good stuff today, Tari. And we had a lot. I'm just going to throw this up on the screen. At one point, I had. There we go. We had Wig, Cuthbert, Wassa, the Salt Cabin, Eanes with the Scope, the Spiral Stone, Queen Beswa, Wayfarer's Rest, and oh, by the way, Lamwin. We had a lot of people today, and a lot
to be
more.
fair, we did meet Lanwin last time. So.
You did meet him. That's true. But everybody else is there. So you got some interesting things, some loose ends to kind of pick up when you sort of figure out what's going on here. But I did like the idea. Yes, we need to finalize the votes. I will do that. Yeah. But I did like the idea that you were aware immediately, like there may be some connection between whatever the Queen's thinking and what's going on with the sharks and all that. But it is interesting that like the root behind why she might be angry, like what exactly happened with the sharks. Like, anyway, there's more layers to uncover there, but you know, as the outsider stranger who's been caught there, it was interesting. I also wondered if you were going to get into the boasting contest with Wasa. And when you were like, yeah, no, Genevieve's not doing that, I was like, right, okay, makes sense. Wouldn't necessarily go do that.
Woodson would have done that, but not Genevieve.
But not Genevieve.
Genevieve's like, yeah, no.
I did wonder about that.
I
was
see
like,
what is happening here.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I was like, nope, we're not doing it. It was especially because there are a couple times where I was like, where Wasa's like, and Genevieve was like, well, why would I do that? Like, it was like, oh. I refuse the rap battle.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine.
It was not the type.
I didn't expect Genevieve to do it, but I wondered if Genevieve would figure out some way to do it on her own. But no, I assumed that she would not. But it's good stuff, Tari, and I hope it was not frustrating. I hope it was just a matter of mysteries that you're picking up on.
No,
over
this
time.
is incredibly fun. I love solving mysteries. Like, this is good.
It's gonna be interesting to see how things happen. So, how'd you feel about today, and where will the lovely folks find you next?
Well, like I said, a lot of fun. Yeah, very interested to see where this is going, and also now low-key terrified that I might have high-key fucked up with.
That was so funny. You're like, don't ever say anything. Yep.
Swear to me.
Yeah, there was a part of it that I was waiting for you to like critically fail that, so Cuthbert could be like, huh, and like runs like towards the mead hall like frantically. You know, it would have been funny. But that did not happen.
Oh no. I did not think that through, because I'm just like, yes, the mystery needs to be solved, and everybody's just being stupid by not giving out the information. But like, oh no, we need to keep the queen happy.
Yeah, maybe that's why people are not stupid; they're terrified. Yeah, it's gonna be a good.
But yeah, it was like really nice to like tap into, FIFA being raised at court.
Yeah.
So. Like the whole thing of like, like she never was part of the court, also like serving food and drink, but like, she like picked up on a thing or two,
Yes. I love the idea of picking up,
being around.
And I love the idea of picking up like the box of fish, like that does actually make sense that she could probably do that. It just doesn't make it a big thing. Like she's not, check out my bulging muscles, like that's not her thing, whatever, but that she would know something about that. So also we got a chance to get your old ways in a little bit too. So there was that as well. Yeah.
The bit with the priest, with the monk. Going, no, God, that is all right.
No, not that thing. The other thing, though. Yeah, that was funny. We were kind of like, oh, yeah, no, the gods, I just met them. They were all right. Where will folks
That's definitely not part of my destiny.
Yeah, different destiny for sure. Where will folks find you next?
Well, at some point they will find me here on this channel.
Indeed.
I don't know for when more sessions are planned. I know that like around Christmas time things are always a bit difficult to plan around, because I'll probably be traveling again. Let's look at the calendar. I should actually be available all month in theory.
Okay. Yeah, if we're able to get two in, that would be, because there's a shot. I'm trying to think of. At the very least, if we were able to get a couple sessions in next month, it would put us pretty close to the end, which would be good timing for.
Also, 5 Tuesdays next month.
Right. Extra Tuesday in December is always helpful. So, so we'll work that out. But in the meantime, besides here, you should check out Tari's Gumroad and all of the various things that you see there, including Blue Sky,
Tumblr,
Tumblr,
Blue Sky, Kara.
Yep.
Where I post my art. Okay, oh god, I have a slight hiccup for some reason. Give me a follow there. And like I said last time, check out Kara.app. Either way, even if it's not for my sake. I would really love if more people got into Kara, because it's just a good place, place for artists, by artists, completely AI free, by design.
Is it getting are there more people coming over time, or just it's
I
slow?
have no idea.
You don't know. Okay.
Yeah, just like if you want to see art, and want to be sure there's no AI shit in there, that is a place to go.
That's the place you would go.
Yes.
Well, then we will look for that. Otherwise, Tari, since I will speak to you again next month, at least on stream, this is not a Netherlands or German thing, but I will say Happy Thanksgiving, American
Oh,
Thanksgiving, because that's next week for us. So,
well,
we
happy
will.
Turkey Day.
Thank you, thank you. We will. We'll be looking forward to turkey stuffing. My personal favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal is generally the stuffing, and or well, and depending on how the apple pie. I mean, occasionally the apple pie is pretty spectacular, so it depends. But anyway, um, yeah, and I am very excited for us to get back to this as we move towards the end stage of Beowulf, which is going to be a good time. Plus more fighting, more of the Lost in the Dark thing too.
Yes.
So that'll be good also.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
But until then, chat, can we get some love for the awesome TariToons? More Tari Tuesdays next month. But otherwise, thanks, Tari. And I will speak to you soon.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night.
Bye,
and
as
happy
always.
Turkey Day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Alrighty. So that is not judging Arvin's Thanksgiving favorites. Yeah, I know. Everybody's always like, oh, dude, nobody likes stuff. Well, I do. I don't know. I like stuffing. I like stuffing, and I actually like a lot of Thanksgiving food. I actually also, this is the part where I'm going to get, outed as like most boring person. I don't know why this is. I kind of like turnips. I don't know why. I know it's boring, whatever. I don't like sweet potatoes. I've never liked yams or sweet potatoes. I'm not into it. I like regular potatoes just fine, but I like turnips. Like turnips, a little bit of butter and like some seasoning, like rosemary or something. I like those. I don't know. That shows up quite a bit in Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I like Thanksgiving food. It is good stuff. But Thanksgiving is next week. This week, we've got more stuff going on. So first of all, let me just turn that music off, which is amazing, but we are now done with Beowulf for the day. And let's get your votes in right now, chat, please, on that next game link that I just posted. Yeah, Cloudflare. Roll20 was down earlier today, so glad to see that that's back. So please get your vote in now, because I'm going to be playing this next Tuesday, muffling myself on food choices. Let's see. So we have Tiny Bookshop, Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer, or Dispatch. And right now, Tiny Bookshop is winning 3-2 over Dispatch to 1 over Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer. So please get your votes in. Oh, you like that, Esoteric? I don't like sweet potatoes. I don't know why. I just have never been into it. I like I like a lot of the standards. I like turkey. As long as it's I don't like dry turkey, but I like moist turkey. I like stuffing. I like cranberry sauce. I like gravy. I do like mashed potatoes, like regular potatoes. Yellow potatoes are good too. Not just those sort of standard white potatoes. I like the green bean casserole, the classic. I like I'm trying to think. I like apple pie. I kind of like meh about pumpkin pie. It's okay, but it's not really my favorite. But I don't sweet potatoes are like, I like carrots with a little bit of honey, which my grandmother used to make way back in the day. But I've never been a big big sweet potato guy. I don't know why. But that is going to do it for me. So let's get that chat vote in, please. Again, that is let's see, where are we? So again, get your votes in right at that link. Right now we're tied. 3 votes for Tiny Bookshop, 3 votes for Dispatch, 1 vote for Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer. I do need someone to break this tie because I'm going to be playing this next Tuesday. And incidentally, at 4 p.m., so top of the hour, I'm going to be over on GOGcom's Twitch channel with Pen and Pixels, and I'm going to be playing more Strange Antiquities, which I've really been having a great time playing. It's been great. So get your votes in now. We have 3-3. So we need someone to break this tie. Okay, what is going on? Why am I getting phone calls? Okay, still 3-3. Oh, okay. Just getting all the info about some things. Okay. You already voted before. Oh, that's no problem. Other people can get their votes in. While they do, I should mention, too, I did not have a chance to talk about this yet. But coming up next Tuesday, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing my normal streams on Tuesday. And then Tuesday evening is going to be this that you see right there. And that is a talk, a conversation, really, about writing that we're going to be having called Crossing the 49th Canadian and American Authors Talk Shop. I and Valerie Valdez will be representing the American side. God help us, since I'd rather be Canadian than American. No, just kidding. But my country, I'll tell you. Anyway, so myself and Valerie Valdez are going to be representing the American side, and Premi Muhammad and Brandon Crilly will be representing the Canadian side. We are all published authors, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what the state of publishing is like on both sides of the 49th parallel, and talking a little bit about aspects of our craft and sort of general writing discussion around how publishing is looking these days. So that's going to be happening next Tuesday. I'm very excited for it. I've gotten some good buzz around this, actually. A lot of people have been talking about wanting to check it out, and I'm glad to hear it. So it will be on my channel, and it will happen November 25th, Tuesday, a week from today at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you folks will stop by if you can. I will have it, of course, recorded. I'll put it up on my YouTube as well, but definitely please spread the word and let people know about it because we're excited for that. Also excited for the rest of this week. On Thursday, I'll be back on this channel. Again, I'm going to be streaming at GOG later today, but then also I'll be back on this channel Thursday night for more of Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles. I'm very excited about that. And then I will be over on, that'll be happening Thursday, and then Saturday, I will be on my channel with some D&D with viewers happening Saturday evening, so that'll be a good time as well. So I'm excited about all of that. And then next week, we've got the Thanksgiving week. That'll be a good time. Brandon O'Brien, by the way, is going to be staying with me for a little while after PAX Unplugged, which is coming this weekend. PAX Unplugged is going to be happening on Sunday, actually. I mean, it's happening all weekend, but I'm going to be there on Sunday. And so definitely wanted to recommend that people be aware that I may be doing some stuff with Brandon this coming week. That might be fun, so we'll check that out. The topic is, it is publishing, the regional discussion. Is it a regional discussion? Well, I don't totally know how to answer that, I guess, because I mean, we're going to be focusing on what we know the best, which is the state of American publishing and of Canadian publishing. Those are things that we can speak about meaningfully because we're in the midst of it. I'm certainly happy to have people talk about it. In fact, if people want to weigh in and chat about the way things are in publishing in Australia or publishing in the UK, or, you know, like, I mean, please, I would love to have those folks stop by and contribute by chatting a little bit about what things look like for them. So I can't say that we're going to be talking a lot about that directly. Like, we're not going to be speaking exactly about that. But we would love to hear about it, Imaginary, for sure. You know, but we're going to be focusing our attention on what we know the best, which is the Canadian and American publishing. But yeah, so yes, but would definitely love to have people talk about, you know, I'm all about it. I want to get more of these discussions happening on the channel, basically. So this is one way to sort of move in that direction. So, all right, let's get this loaded, folks. We need someone to break this tie. Please vote at that link. Please vote at that link that I posted under next game. Please get your vote in. I will be playing this next Tuesday. We're tied right now, and I need to break this tie. So it is Tiny Bookshop is tied with Dispatch, 3 votes each. So please get your votes in. Please get your votes in because I need to break this tie, and then I need to head over and get going on GOG. Okay, here we go. Yeah, but I can't do that. I always I've always been very careful not to just, I don't want to break those ties in my direction. That means I'm putting my thumb on the scale. It means I'm introducing corruption into the mix. It means I'm adding, you know, it means I am allowing my own opinion to wrongfully influence the nature of, I can roll the die. I mean, I could. No one else in chat is able to vote on this? Everyone else has voted already? Have they? You did voted? You did vote, rather? I vote. You did voted? I can speak English. You did vote? All right, well. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to say, I'm going to pull up my dice roller, my online dice roller that I use for games up right now. So we are going to say 1 to 3 is going to be Tiny Workshop, or Workshop, yeah, Tiny Bookshop. That's what I meant to say. And then 4 to 6 is going to be Dispatch. All right, let's see. And actually, I can just do this. I just realized I can just do this in chat. So, all right, here we go, chat. 1 to 3, Tiny Bookshop. 4 to 6, Dispatch. And did I do that wrong? No, I'll roll. But did I do that wrong, though? Oh, wait, because I didn't, because I don't have Arbot up. Wait a second. No, okay, I didn't think so. Sorry, I didn't have Arbot up. One second. No, it's the right command, but I don't have Arbot up, so that's why. That'll just take a second. My bad. Okay, start up. I just didn't have it fired up and rolling. Okay. Dice roller. There's my dice roller. Okay. Okay. Window capture. Nope, that's the wrong one. Remove. Yes. Let's do it this way. I don't know. I'm not going to take extra time to do this. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay. Then we'll get rid of that. Okay. There we are. Okay. And I'll get rid of the writing event for now. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to roll 1d6. So 1 to 3 is going to be Tiny Bookshop, and 4 to 6 is going to be Dispatch. Here we go. 4. All right, so I'm going to be playing Dispatch. All right, Dispatch it is. Dispatch is the winner. All right. We're going to play Dispatch. I hope I know what I'm getting myself into. Everyone has been talking about Dispatch lately, so I am looking forward to seeing how that all works. I demand a recount. Dispatch is an interesting game. A little nervous, but I actually want to double check and see. Oh yeah, that's right. Superhero workplace comedy. All right, hey, listen. I can get down with a superhero workplace comedy. All right, so Dispatch is what we will be playing next Tuesday. Lovely. That sounds awesome. All right, I'm going to go get ready then thanks for the votes for everybody. I'm going to go get things rolling on Okay, sorry, I just responded to one other thing. Great. Okay. So that's the deal. Very excited to give that a shot. But now I'm going to go get ready for some strange antiquities at the top of the hour. If you liked what you saw and heard tonight or today, I hope you will consider following the channel. I hope you'll check out our YouTube at !ArvTube. Thanks for those who were watching over on YouTube today. Please do subscribe to us over there. The Discord, you can hang out with the Arvnuts in between streams, is !Arvcord. Blue Sky, !Arvsky. Website, arvaneleron.com. Financially, !Arvtreon is the Patreon. Definitely supports us by doing this, trying to get that back up into triple digits, so please consider supporting us there if you can. !Arv Shop is the merchandise area where you can get cool stuff for yourself, swag, and so on. Getting near the holidays, good gift items, and also help support the channel. Also, the Patreon, !Arvtreon that I mentioned. Also, subbing to the channel really helps. You get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, so please consider doing that as well. On the publishing front, Icarus, our graphic novel for Athos Arts. Library, that's our Tales and Tomes, the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. At Greyshade, that is my Greyshade IP. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic from Athos Arts, available now. Award-winning, critically acclaimed. Also, you can get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks. Renegade audiobook should be out in the next couple of weeks at the latest. Also from Tren, Heretic audiobook will be coming sometime early next year. So you can get those right now. At least Greyshade you can get right this second, actually. You can also pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, which is going to be demoed at PAX Unplugged this weekend, coming out from Alligator Alley very soon. You can get that there. You can also join us at PAX Unplugged if you were in the Philadelphia area this weekend, where Brandon will be demoing it. I will be there on Sunday with him as well. And let me see, what else was I going to mention? Demoing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then again, so you can pre-order that coming out from Alligator Alley Entertainment, as I say, very soon. So definitely do that, our TTRPG. And as always, BLM, Black Lives Matter. Important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Help now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message will do so for others in that situation in the future. Thank you to my wonderful mods today. Thank you to Prince Justin, Triffity Mats, the best mods in the business. As I look up there and I see that Arvbot currently is sitting up there as a mod, which is true, but because of the need for using it, but we're not going to do that now. Let me get rid of Arvbot. Okay. Thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers, Prince Justin, Triffid, Nonstop Imaginary Exponent. Please spread the word about the channel too. Love to have all these folks with us. Love to have Anthony, Dr. Hugo Z. Hackenbush, Esoteric Delight, Solidarity on the No Sweet Potatoes, Esoteric. Thank you to Famous Adventurer, Intensely Eric, Jagtris. What's up, Eric? Jagtris, KG Shadows, Shattermage. What's up, Shadow? And Zerafuse. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I will be over at GOG.com, as Triffid said, in a half hour to play Pen and Pixels. Moving on towards almost 500, episode 497, playing some Pen and Pixels and playing Strange Antiquities, a really, really cool game. Otherwise, I'll see you back on this channel in a couple of days for Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles. Can't wait. Much love to all of you folks. Much love as well to TariToons for the amazing work she did today. Very excited to have Tari back next month with more of Beowulf. Special thanks to her. That's it for now. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you about a half hour over in GOG with some Pen and Pixels and Strange Antiquities. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other and have a good afternoon. Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure and armor, their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on. Foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar.